ESPN's College Football Primetime available on HD as the Trojans get set to battle Oregon State. Aaron Andrews is on the field with Pete Carroll.
Chris, thanks. Coach, you know the history. Your program has lost here 2 out of the past 3 trips. So what have you stressed to your guys when coming back to Corvallis?
Well, we want to play the way we're capable of playing. And to do that, we got to take care of the football. You know, if we mess around with the ball, then we give them a chance.
You told us on the phone this week your mentality has to be every game is a national championship. How do you preach that every single week?
I don't know, but we've been doing it for a lot of years now, and we like it that way. Every one of these is so critical. We want to play our very best every time we go, so we make every one of them a championship game.
Coach, thanks.
All right, see ya.
All right, Chris.
Aaron, you're right. It was 4 turnovers that doomed Carroll's Trojans. Their last visit to Corvallis fell in a big hole. Lost it 33-31. Oregon State lost their conference opener to Stanford. Mike Riley's team, traditionally a slow starting team. Each of the last 2 years, they've been 6-3 in the Pac-10. They were a 9-win team, and Riley's won 4 straight bowls here. But there was the meltdown at Penn State. They were in an 0-2 hole. Came back home and clobbered Hawaii last game.
I think
1-2.
A little bit of the focus is some of the inexperienced youth that he has on this team, and I think also they maybe have looked ahead to this game.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, I think one thing Mike Riley wants to change. His Oregon State Beavers have lost their last 6 Pac-10 games in the months of August and September. They got to get that changed here today.
Oregon State won the toss. They deferred, so USC will get the football. And Mark Sanchez and company will go right to work. Matt Baker to kick it off. It's been a cloudy day, somewhat cool, but now the sun has come out.
Hey, it's fall.
And it's orange out. They've encouraged everywhere we go, it's some kind of color out, and it's orange out tonight here. Oregon State has 1 career win over a #1 ranked team, and that was against the O.J. Simpson-led Trojans in what used to be known as Parker Stadium here back in 1967. A team known as the Giant Killers, and this group of Beavers trying to summon those ghosts here tonight as a big underdog in their home field.
Well, you know what it does? It's really, this is a game where you don't have it where their team and the locker room is thinking about the helmet across the sidelines. Oregon State's used to playing against USC. They just got great players at the Trojan land.
Yeah, it was a beatdown last year at the Coliseum. Oregon State offensively could do nothing and gave up 3 touchdowns in the second quarter. So C.J. Gable, Ronald Johnson back deep to receive the kickoff as the Pac-10 season for USC gets underway tonight here in Corvallis. It's a kick that Gable will take at the 3. Good coverage, and he's rocked at the 15. So Mark Sanchez, Orange County, California native, a junior. This is his team now, his 6th start. So efficient against Ohio State.
You see Mark Sanchez, he's completed 68% of his passes. He's the most efficient passer in the Pac-10 right now. He's played beautifully in their first 2 games.
Folks around USC wondering how he'll respond, guys, when he gets that first real piece of adversity, when the offense isn't operating with house money. Joe McKnight, the speedy sophomore, is the lone setback on the Trojans' first play. And Sanchez, right back, flips it to McKnight in the flat. He makes the first man miss, but a short gain. Christic forced him out. Here are the impact players for the Trojans offense.
Fullback Stanley Havili is one of those fullbacks that's rare, where a defense has to game plan for a fullback. Not often done.
Damian Williams, the type of receiver you're going to see him all over the field today. He's great in the red zone, runs great routes. Expect him to catch a lot of passes against Oregon State.
And they'd like McKnight to get about 20 touches between returns, receptions, and runs. He can fly. He dazzled that Ohio State defense. Picked up just 1 yard on the first play, and now Alan Bradford, the veteran, the most physical back for SC, is in the game. Pass caught by Patrick Turner, and the veteran up near the first down marker. That'll be about a yard short. We'll set up 3rd and 1. Brandon Hughes, the fine corner on the stop, and you can see the Trojans lineup across the top of the screen. It's a very good offensive line that features 3 sophomores, but they don't play like sophomores.
And that's because in practice and in the spring they had to go against their own defense, and their defense is better than anybody they could face on game day.
Stephon Johnson is the deep back in the I formation. Trojans need about a yard and a half. They'll try the right side, and Johnson fighting, but he won't get there. The defense that led the nation against the run last year, but lost its entire front seven and has been pretty vulnerable against the run, stands up for a 3-and-out here.
All right, at the point of attack, it's very important for Oregon State to have some penetration. You're going to see that they defined the V. They pushed in the backfield the penetration of the offensive line.
Sammy Strotter back to receive the punt from Greg Woidnick. Strotter will call a fair catch and take it at his 40-yard line. So a good start for the Beavers defense. They force a punt after a 3rd-and-1 play. And after a 35-yard punt, they'll have excellent field position. Here is Lyle Moivau. He took over after Sean Canfield was knocked out in a brutal game in the Coliseum a year ago, and he won his last 4 games last year.
We had a chance to talk to Lyle Moivau yesterday about the implications of playing the #1 ranked team coming in here to Corvallis. He said, guys, this is our national championship game. We got a chance to change our season. This is a chance of a lifetime for our team.
He's just about 5'11", pretty athletic, very quick release, as you'll see quickly. Jacquizz Rodgers, the true freshman, who has about 5'6", is in the backfield. They fake it to him. Moivau holds the ball and flips it over the middle, complete to the tight end Brady Camp, and he's across midfield for a 1st down. Impact players for the Oregon State offense. We talked about Jacquizz Rodgers, 136 touchdowns in his high school career.
Well, you know what? He's a small guy in stature, but he's tough and has a lot of strength. He has to make one cut and get north and south.
James Rodgers is Jacquizz's older brother. He's faster than his little brother. You're going to see him run the football and catch it as well today.
And Sammy Strotter, the senior wide receiver, trying to get deep against this defense. Jacquizz Rodgers, they call him Quiz, is in the backfield, and his brother James comes in motion. This is Quiz, and he shows that quick burst, a 9-yard gain.
Let's first talk about the mentality of Oregon State. Walked through yesterday, they were not flustered, Jesse. You can talk X's and O's all you want, but you can't play tight.
No, and Jacquizz Rodgers, he's a true freshman. Doesn't act like it, though. He's got a lot of confidence, a lot of swagger for a guy right out of high school.
Yeah, so they're ready to play. They're not worried about the helmet across from them. They're worried about execution.
Talk a lot about the Rodgers brothers tonight. James, number 8, Quiz, number 1. 2nd and short. Let's see if Moivau will take a shot downfield. Trojans bring late pressure. Good protection. Moivau will throw deep over the head as Taylor Mays was helping out Chris Johnson, the intended receiver.
One thing Oregon State is going to try to do today is really put a lot of pressure on the secondary of USC. What Oregon State offensively does well, off of play action, they throw into the intermediate and deep area very, very well. They can hurt teams downfield. It's tough against this defense, though.
Yeah, and I grew up, though, sitting next to Lou Holtz in this business, and Lou always said, gee, when it's 2nd and short, get your 1st down. Get the 1st down.
Need about a yard and a half. Give it to the fullback. And a quick burst for the 1st down. That was Rodgers lined up as the fullback. And a little wrinkle there.
And one of the interesting things about being 5'7" like Jacquizz Rodgers is he's really small, and it's hard for those big linebackers at USC to find him behind that big offensive line.
And I think it's really important for USC's defensive line to be very good with their eyes and to get off their blocks because of Rodgers' quickness.
A quick 1st downs for the Beavers, and they're set up at the SC 33. Quiz Rodgers to the left of Moivau. His brother comes in motion, and they flip it over the middle. This is James Rodgers, and the older of the Rodgers brothers shakes free and gets down inside the 20. They got a little pair of playmakers from Texas on this Oregon State team. Mays on the stop, a 14-yard gain.
Now, this all goes back to being efficient with the football, getting rid of it in a hurry. Now, USC's not surprised, Jesse. They were expecting the quick dump underneath.
One thing that's interesting, I think Oregon State doing a nice job keeping USC off balance defensively, throwing screens, moving the pocket, the quick run game. USC right now is a little bit on their heels.
James Rogers at the bottom of the formation. He comes in motion now. They give it to Quiz. That time good initial penetration, but Jacquizz Rogers spins away for a nice gain. Tough to tackle.
What I love about Jacquizz Rogers is that for a little guy who's 5'7", he doesn't do a lot of east-west running. You're going to see him just hit it north. When he sees his crease, he's able to hit it and get upfield.
You see how they're tackling USC's defensive players, the shoulder pads. They're not dropping their butt and getting down low. This is like Mike Hart was at Michigan, a low center of gravity. You got to drop your fanny to make a tackle.
Once again, it's second and short after a 9-yard gain on first down. It's Quiz. Right in amongst the big boys, they'll have a first down.
Why not use the big guy, right?
You guys say that even at about 5'6", it's tough to get a hit on him, right? He's a small strike zone.
And that's why you're seeing the shoulder pads. You saw Mays in the secondary grabbing the top of the shoulder pad. Well,
they have marched almost 50 yards in this opening possession against Carroll's defense. Now can they cash it in? Haven't been super efficient in the red zone in their first 3 games. James Rogers in motion, and they throw it to him. Rogers needs a block on the corner, gets it, yanked out at the pylon. There's a flag. Taylor Mays brought him down. You may see the horse collar penalty. And the quickness of the Rogers guys giving a very fast defense some big trouble here.
I think you're seeing the speed right now of Oregon State really express itself. Here's Loudmoy out, just getting the football out into the hands of his playmakers. James Rogers, see the speed, trying to get the pylon. That certainly is going to be a horse collar tackle.
And I want to give a shout out here to Morales, number 13, the wide receiver. The leverage outside in, pinning USC's pursuit guys.
So it'll be first and goal. Officials have yet figured out where to spot the football. 2 tight ends in the ball game for Oregon State.
Where's the infraction?
The microphone not working. And now they're ruling a touchdown. A very, very late signal. Rogers evidently was able to get to the pylon, and a surprise from the crew. Touchdown, Oregon State. What an opening drive.
Wow.
First blood for the Beavers here. Never saw a touchdown signal, guys.
No, I was waiting for the penalty. I was waiting for the call.
Watching the football, you see the infraction there. Obviously saying the ball crossed here.
The ball hit the pylon.
Still in
Mays
bounds.
dragging him down. I don't know. Will that break the plane?
I think this is going to get reviewed.
Clearly the legs of Rogers touched the pylon, but I'm not sure the football broke the plane. Tough to see from that angle. There was a side judge right on the goal line making the call.
Well, but you know what? When a couple of things. Let's go back to USC's offensive possession. Starting the football game, they come out with 2 passes. And we're sitting here as a group. We've analyzed these, talked to coaches. We're thinking they're going to test the defense at Oregon State, see if they can stop the run. So you've got a whole mindset. They didn't think that they would come out and that Oregon State would go down the field on them either.
And how about Oregon State offensively? Danny Langsdorff, their offensive coordinator, doing a great job play calling, keeping the defense off balance, setting themselves up in 2nd and short, 3rd and short, and really putting the football in the hands of their playmakers. The most speed are the Rogers brothers, what they have here at Oregon State, getting the ball in their hands and allowing them to go make plays.
You remember what Danny, the offensive coordinator, said in our meetings about that? He goes, we don't really have a script here that's heavy. We need to make sure we know what's going on the field, right? And make the adjustments accordingly. I guarantee he didn't expect to have that kind of success early on.
After review, the ruling on the the field stands. Play results in a touchdown.
It wasn't enough evidently to overturn that ruling on the field. One more look, but it's Oregon State pending the conversion of Sean Seenum on top.
Just nothing conclusive there. So obviously the official on the field had the best shot, made the call.
So the second touchdown on the season for James Rodgers. All Moabite did was just get the ball to number 1, number 8. Let the big guys block and get out of the
Simple
way.
game plan, man. That's a great way to draw it up.
The regular kicker, Justin Cahoon, is suffering from a hip flexor, so this is the backup. Seenum. They do sacrifice some range on the field goal tries, but he knocks the point through. Wow, what a possession. 60 yards, 8 plays. It's all about the Rodgers 7-zip Beavers. Oregon State marches 60 yards in their opening possession, thanks mostly to the work of number 8 there, James Rodgers, the sophomore who scored the touchdown, and his younger brother, Jacquizz Rodgers. They come from Richmond, Texas. It's the Houston area. They played at Lamar Consolidated High School, turned an awful high school program into state champs for the times they were done, and nobody offered James Rodgers a scholarship in Division 1A. Texas State, not the Longhorns. Texas State was recruiting him, so he came up here, and a year later, Jacquizz Rodgers, by far the more heralded of the two brothers, joined him. So they got kind of a slot back and a running back with a lot of quicks.
They got a bonus because Quiz was recruited heavily by lots of folks down in the Southwest, but he honored his brother really by coming up and being a part of Oregon State. Because
the horse collar happened on the touchdown reception against Taylor Mays, the Beavers will kick it off from the 45-yard line. Matt Parker ought to be able to reach the end zone from here. Calm evening, not much wind. And it's a very short boot. And C.J. Gable will take a knee anyway. Let's go to Aaron Andrews on the sidelines, EA.
Chris, all week to talk about around both programs, the upset here in 2006, that 33-31 victory for Oregon State. Mike Riley told us this week if he could just bottle up that confidence his team had in 06 and use it this week, he'd be so happy. Guys, he said that Penn State loss they had in the second week of the season, his players just looked like they were in awe looking around. That is not what they look like down here. Guys, when the offense was out there during that drive, the defense did not sit down at all. They've got some confidence out there right now.
Well, they sure do, Aaron. Let's see if that defense can build on the 3 and out. USC out on its first possession. It's McKnight on the toss. Beavers string it out. McKnight no gain. That game here 2 years ago was all about USC mistakes. The 4 turnovers. Riley's team led 33-10. It was a furious rally. They came up 2 points short. Carroll's staff made some defensive adjustments in last year's meeting. And they got to the quarterbacks 9 times in that game. But that's not what Pete expected. I think he thought his veteran bunch would respond to the rallying cry of the Pac-10 opener. Now they find themselves facing some adversity. Empty backfield. Sanchez quick throw. It's caught. Trying to muscle his way for a short gain is Ronald Johnson. Not much. Now Lafalava, the senior hitter among the safeties there, stops up about 3 yards short of a first down.
You know, let's go back and talk about the Penn State game. And it was a debacle for the Oregon State Beavers. But I thought that may have prepared them for this game.
Mike Riley talked about it. Hopefully that was a learning tool for his football team. Now they've already been in a big tight atmosphere against a very good football team. Hopefully the team takes something away from that and answers the bell here tonight against USC.
Whole different thing in Reser Stadium than it was in Beaver Stadium. They fell down 28-0 in that game. Carroll saw something he didn't like, so on 3rd and 3,
Timeout.
Trojans take time.
University of Southern California timeout number 1. This is also a media timeout.
We'll come back. Beavers off to an early lead.
The Heisman Trophy.
6 o'clock local kickoff here in Corvallis. And the Trojans, after a 3 and out in their first possession, face 3rd and 3. C.J. Gable is the tailback. Gable has it. But immediate penetration forces Gable to stutter step away. Has to fight back near the 30. He's short. So Slade Norris, Keaton Christick of Oregon State, quick penetration to disrupt the play, and USC facing a punting situation.
Oh, yeah, you got to punt the football on the road against a very feisty defense. Norris on the point of attack. They're just playing faster, Jesse.
Just not a good drive for USC's offense. You want to answer and counter that first nice drive by Oregon State offensively. They weren't able to do that. Oregon State defensively flying around the ball right now.
Wouldn't it? A high boot. Strider retreats about the 22. Tries to get the corner, and he'll be dropped. A loss on the return. Matthews on the stop there. Saturday night means college football on ABC. You'll see either 22 Illinois visiting Beaver Stadium against undefeated Penn State. Most of you will see that game. Some will see Virginia Tech in the Sea of Red at Lincoln, Nebraska. 8 o'clock Eastern time. Check your local listings.
And, you know, I'm going to go back again on Penn State. I really like. We ask everybody in the country. We've been asking teams and players and coaches about Penn State. That's a good football team.
All these Oregon State coaches told us, they said, Craig, Jesse, Chris, Aaron, guess what? This team's for real. This team's for real now. More people are going to start talking about him. Daryl Clark has played outstanding up there.
I agree, but they better hope they're for real because they got run out. This is Quiz. He hops sideways and able to find some wiggle room for about 4. Kyle Moore in the stop. This is a guy that it's his 4th college game, Craig, and he's in the mighty Trojans defense. Doesn't look in awe, does he?
Did he look in awe yesterday with our meeting with
Not
the
at
guy?
all.
He comes in, squats down, leans up against the wall, had a smile on his face, very pleasant.
He's averaging 88 yards a game as a true freshman. That leads all true freshman running backs in the nation. He looks good. Good little running back.
We've seen some good freshman runners the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Rodney Stewart had the big ball game for Colorado. Win over West Virginia. This is the quiz show tonight. They fake it to him. Pressure off the edge. Moivau into traffic. Cushing was all over Brady Camp, the tight end.
We mentioned earlier, one thing that USC had a lot of success against Oregon State last year was putting pressure on this offense. Again, they had 9 sacks a year ago. We're going to see a lot of pressure from this USC defense here tonight.
If I were Oregon State, I would make sure I take advantage of this opportunity while they're flat-footed at best on defense and get after it, because USC will make an adjustment. They'll figure out where Rogers' strike zone is.
James Rogers, top formation in the slot there. 3rd and 6. Trojans show pressure up the middle and bring it. Moivau gets it away, and a diving first down catch by Sammy Strutter. Moivau stood in there, took a hit, but delivered a strike.
One of the first things you said as a quarterback yesterday, Jesse, was you talked about the athleticism of Moivau and how he could get rid of the ball.
While Moivau, the thing that stands out to me is how fast he plays. He gets back, the ball comes out of his hand. There's no deliberation back in the pocket. He's taking a hit. He knows it's coming, but he throws that nice, accurate football down the field. While Moivau plays extremely fast.
Luka Maave drilled him in the sternum, close to being a late hit. First down at the 35. This is Quiz Rogers. Has the left side and picks up about 6. Pushing on the tackle. This is the defense that was so stout against the Buckeyes. You said they're on their heels early.
Well, they're really trying to figure out what's going on up front. I don't believe USC had a lot of respect defensive line-wise against Oregon State's O-line.
No, you're right. And they're really getting pushed off the football right now, but Oregon State is able to manage these downs, 2nd and 3rd down so far. They've been short yardages to attain.
Camp comes in motion on 2nd and 3. Quiz again. First down, near midfield. Pushing, knocked the little guy down, but when they're knocking him down, it's 8-10 yards downfield.
And they're doing this against an 8-man box. So it's not like you got balance and you've got them worried about the passing game. Look again at the footwork and the vision of the runner.
This is a defense that's given up 51.5 yards rushing per game in the first 2. Quiz has 46 by himself in the first 9+ minutes.
Wow.
James Rogers in motion. Again, they show blitz up the middle. Now Luga's picked up. And Rogers has room. Here's Rogers dragged down, a flag on the tackle. Miava got him. Is that another horse collar? They can't reach him. They're grabbing whatever they can find. Yeah, it's that horse collar personal foul, 15 yards.
Somebody blew an assignment. I'm going to show you Clay Matthews playing really as a defensive end. Used to be a linebacker. This is inexperience. He overruns the play. Look at the depth. He's got containment. Can't overrun that.
It seems as though Jacquizz Rodgers is almost built to have success against this USC defense. He's little. They're having a hard time finding him and a hard time tackling him. He's almost built to play against this big, physical, dominant defense.
And again, Chris, it's on the shoulder pads tackling, right? Yeah. The guy's so short that he's getting tackled horse collar twice already.
That's normally where these guys are going for the waist.
A lot of old school football people would say that's a penalty. That's just a regular old tackle, but they're trying to protect the safety of players and the injuries that can occur when you make that horse collar kind of tackle. James in motion, and they hand it to him on the fly. Sweep, good penetration. Oh, he is hammered. That was Kyle Moore getting into the backfield, and then Kevin Ellison delivering the blow.
He found the strike zone there.
It's a good thing if you're shifty and you're on East West, because you're right. If this USC defense can zone in on you, man, they can deliver the blows. Look at Kevin Ellison lay the wood coming in. We're talking about a 230-pound strong safety.
It's about 45 pounds more than James Rogers. That's really the first success SC's had on first down. Oregon State's been second and short almost every play. And a false start. That was Vitri, the veteran on the left side of that offensive line, losing his patience.
Prior to snap, false start on the offense, number 66, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
He's the co-captain making his 31st start.
Going back to that James Rogers run we saw a second ago, I don't know if this USC defense is the type of defense you want to attack with speed going right and left. I think it's their defense. If you're going to get after them, you better be taking shots.
A combination, and they had that tonight. They've had the up the middle, Rodgers off the nose guard and inside. So I'm with you, man. You better be balanced in and out.
Second and 17. There's a short completion. Quiz Rogers has it in traffic and works his way down inside the 25. Matthews on the stop.
And for me, what that does here is being smart about what you're doing. You've at least given yourselves a chance for a field goal, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're not trying to throw the home run ball knowing that you can't get it off in time.
But even on that little screen, you see how quickly Val plays. It doesn't necessarily have to be a big play down the field, but it gets back. It's a little screen, but the ball comes out, and it's in Quiz Rogers' hands.
I'm not sure with Sean Seen in the backup kicker tonight for Raleigh. I'm not sure they're in field goal range yet. They may need a couple more yards. It would be a 42-yard attempt from here. But Moival's thinking conversion. See, rushes 4. Moival flushed. And he's sacked. And now they're way out of field goal range. A much-needed play by the SC defense as Moore and Moala combined.
Well, we talked about Clay Matthews a while ago. Now we're going to give him some love on this one here. He is on the outside. Quick. This is the linebacker quickness coming to his rescue.
And he forced Moival out of the pocket. Moore and Moala finished him off. So now 4th and 16, back at the 33. Moival was still in the game, and now they'll make a change. And they'll bring in Johnny Hecker, the punter. Play clock winding down. They're probably just going to let it go down and take the 5 yards. They've had a lot of trouble in this punt game. Hecker is the true freshman. Had a punt blocked against Stanford. Took off running against Penn State inexplicably with a snap that was perfect and got dropped for a loss.
I'm not sure I liked what I saw from him in pregame either, punting. Just he's looking for his rhythm.
He's got an opportunity to pin SC deep. Nueva knows that was a missed opportunity for the Beavers offense. A nice drive undone by that fly sweep and then a false start penalty.
Now they've been averaging 8.8 yards on first down, and so getting stuffed on that little fly sweep sure helped USC's defense.
McKnight is back in his 10-yard line. Becker has been very methodical early in his career getting the punt off. Just no issues here. Pooches it down there and gets a nice bounce, and the Beavers will down it at about the 6. White Roberson downs it. Sanchez and the Trojans take over on their 3rd possession, their own 6.
The chase for the sprint.
The Beavers and their fans here at Reser Stadium. Very slow start for the USC offense. 6 plays, 2 3-and-outs, and now backed up a very poor field position.
I would caution right now Oregon State's defense to continue to play fast, but play fast with discipline.
McKnight. That's their first real positive running play for the Trojans tonight. There's a record 8,500 student tickets sold for this game. This was a couple days ago, guys. They were lining up around the stadium, along the train tracks, to get tickets here. School doesn't start until next week. But obviously, this is a big occasion. They showed up. It's a premium game, so it isn't quite a sellout. And the Trojan fans, a lot of no-shows. They didn't make that LA to Portland flight in the hour-and-a-half drive down here to Corvallis.
This was a gimme game for them. This is a gimme.
Now I'm feeling like that right now. On 2nd down, McKnight once again has to hesitate. There was nothing in the center. He gets to the edge before Greg Laybourne, the safety, stops him. 3rd and short now.
But that's the way you play against McKnight. This guy is fast, and if you don't make him redirect at least once, preferably twice, you must redirect him or he'll run right around you.
Remember, this is the best run defense in college football a year ago. Oregon State, they gave up only 70 yards a game on the ground. They've lost 7 starters from that unit, but right now in this first quarter, they're doing a pretty nice job containing McKnight and the rest of those USC backs.
Now it's Stephon Johnson on 3rd and 1. Instead, Havili, the fullback, is stacked up. Ryan Cornell, the middle backer, met him. Trojans say 1st down. It's right at that yellow line. And they will move the chain. So the first down for Carroll's offense comes on the final play of the 1st quarter.
And they had to fight and scratch to get it. How about that? They're not gashing this Oregon State defense at all.
Anything but. We waited to see. Now Sanchez and this Trojan team might handle their first piece of adversity. Maybe it'll come right here tonight in Reser Stadium. 7-zip Beavs after 1.
Built by the Home Depot, Saturday at 10 a.m.
A surprising first quarter. USC just now gotten the 1st down. The Beavers drove 60 yards with their first possession. James Rogers collecting a short touchdown pass, and now Sanchez will throw on 1st down. Steps away from the rush, but now is dropped. Christic came on the pressure and got him. Only been sacked once in the first 2 games.
Mark Sanchez wanted to go backdoor. He had Alan Bradford running a wheel up the sidelines. He was trying to throw it. It was covered. Great pressure from Oregon State.
And again, we're seeing an Oregon State defense playing in a different gear. You see the linebacker going to get him. Sanchez is not that elusive in the backfield.
I think he's a pretty good athlete. He's got pretty good escapability.
Yeah. Didn't look it there.
McKnight in the slot. Now he takes the direct snap. And they're ready for that wrinkle as McKnight will be dropped for a loss. They're ready for the wrinkles, and they're playing real fast right now.
We are seeing more intensity right now from this Oregon State defense than we've seen at all this year.
And you see Sanchez lined up wide as a wide receiver, and absolutely Oregon State, hats off to Mark Banker and that defensive staff over there, game planning, expecting that, being ready for it.
Boy, emotion is funny. This is the same team that was just destroyed by Penn State.
Yeah.
Down 28-0 before they caught their breath. 3rd and 15. There's a flag. It'll be a free play for Sanchez, and he'll take a shot downfield. Overthrows Damian Williams. He'll get a chance now. It'll be about 3rd and 10 after the penalty. So already Steve Sarkisian
Offside on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
going to the bag of tricks. The regular stuff not working, and the direct snap to McKnight didn't work either.
But he will. He'll dial it up. And I'm saying, I mean this now, you know, as a player, USC is going to show up before the game's over.
Oh, yeah.
You better do something with it. Oregon State. Sark came out before the game all relaxed, had his shorts on, warming up. Mark Baker, D coordinator. He's got the gum going. He's fired up.
3rd and 10. Sanchez, pump fakes, pressured. Wanted to throw it. And he'll be short of the 1st down. He was pump faking, but beyond the line of scrimmage, and Slade Norris wasn't buying that one.
Yeah, just outstanding job by the secondary staying back. The corners and the safety staying back with receivers. The linebacker level going and sucking up the quarterback.
You talk about that familiarity that Oregon State and their coaching staffs have with USC. Ohio State, Virginia, never really seen that animal in USC before. All of a sudden now, though, you're seeing a team whose coaching staff is used to playing against USC.
Strotter won't get a chance as Woodnick's punt sails out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. Marks it up to the 38. That's where they say it went out. So pretty good field position for the home team. Already up by a touchdown. Beaver offense back to work against a USC defense that's depleted tonight in the secondary. Sharice Wright, their best corner, has a fractured vertebrae. He's going to miss perhaps 5 or 6 weeks. Josh Pinkard, a very experienced backup. He's a senior who's been a starter in his career. He's backing up Sharice Wright. And then Taylor Mays in that timeout has gone to the locker room to have something looked at. Will Harris moves over, and he'll play free safety now in the absence of Mays. It's Quiz Rogers behind Neuval. James comes in motion, and Quiz takes it. Sidesteps a man. Another big gain on 1st down. 10 more. Will Harris on the stop. And as the quiz show continues, we'll check in with Reese Davis in the studio.
All right, Chris, Sports Center right now. Albert Pujols went yard for the Cardinals and also saying goodbye Arizona's hopes of making the postseason. Cardinals won at 12-3. Dodgers have clinched the West. Diamondbacks have been eliminated. And former Texas star, former Bears running back Cedric Benson will not face charges over 2 alcohol-related arrests. Next, Sports Center at 11 Eastern on ESPN News, and you can always stay current on ESPN News.
Reese, thanks. 10 yards for Rogers. It is a 1st down at the Oregon State 48. He's got it again. They are just moving the pile. 10 more yards. What's going on here?
Okay, they're mixing it up. That inside zone is so important to this Beaver offense. The last play, the left guard, left tackle, Jesse, pulled and got outside. This time they come right up the gut.
It goes back to offensive coordinator Danny Langsdorf doing a great job keeping this USC defense off balance. Inside runs, outside runs, screen game, quick passing game, moving guys around in motion. This USC defense right now does not know what to expect from the Oregon State offense.
Those tackles, Spicer and Waller, they're not used to being manhandled the way they've been so far tonight. Quiz again. That time a short game, but he did pick up a 1st down at the 40. Aaron, what's the latest on the free safety Taylor Mays?
Well, we just heard from USC's sideline that Taylor Mays went back to the locker room to go get an x-ray on his chest. No word about when the injury actually occurred, and of course, if we find out more, I'll let you know, Siab.
There he is talking to Josh Pinkard. Mays, just a tremendous athlete.
You know
6'3",
what?
230. He's the fastest guy in the defense, even at that size.
And you lose one of your playmakers back there like that in a game where the game's being played in the secondary right now of USC.
Already minus your best corner. But no excuses for SC. They're getting whipped up front. In motion, the tight end on first down. Morval slips it to Rogers in the flat. Gets a block, and good pursuit by Cushing. Big man getting out there, but still a 5-yard gain.
I'm really interested to see if this Oregon State offense can keep the intensity up. Traditionally, here at home over the last 3 years, they've scored a lot of points. They've outscored their opponents 139-41 here in the first quarter. They've taken care of business so far, but can they keep that intensity up?
You know, one thing, if you can pay attention and watch that sideline, I'm really interested to hear what they say when they come off defensively at USC.
Well, will they come off in a bigger hole? That's the question. 2nd and 5. Two tight end look. And on play action, Morval rolls out, fires far side, and a little bit of miscommunication. Skip the ball to Rogers. Aaron?
I can tell you guys the last time the defense came off the field, Nick Holt greeted them in a really intense fashion. This is pretty tame right now. He had them in a huddle, just basically screaming at them. Once he got done with that, he was emphasizing how they needed to execute. And then, Chris, he let them know that they were having a freshman, as in Jacquizz Rogers, embarrass them.
That's pretty much an accurate statement by the coach. There's Maulugu gave you a little wink. He was getting yelled at by Ken Norton Jr., the linebacker coach in the pregame. He looked over, he gave a little wink.
He gave me a wink. Norton was getting him fired up, but I don't think
it didn't work.
It did not work.
3rd down. Wiz side steps to the hole. Bounces down near the 30. Very close to another first down. And the spot is crucial. It may be just short.
I'm really surprised. I thought coming into this game, if Oregon State was going to have any chance of success, they were going to have to mix up the pass a lot more than they have been. But this has just been domination up front for Oregon State.
Watch this guy's feet. Look at this and the way he has the ability to move. But you can't do that as a running back unless people are being blocked in front of you. And right now, up front, that zone scheme, they're matching up nicely.
First down. In 3rd and 5, they ran the ball up the middle and got it.
I was just going to say, that's what's so impressive right now from this Oregon State offense is they're dialing up runs on passing downs, and they're getting first downs. They're converting.
You think they're feeling the roads right now as an offensive line?
Mojo.
One thing's for sure, the freshman Quiz Rogers, he's not feeling the rookie oats out there. He's feeling it.
And I'd keep pounding it. If I'm Danny Langsdorff, keep doing it until they stop you.
Quiz has it. Jacquizz Rogers weaving his way for 15 more. Carroll cannot believe it.
Well, you know what he can't believe is he can't believe that the blocking up front is being so effective, but nobody's coming off their man, especially the linebacker level. They're getting swallowed up.
Mike Remmers is a freshman right tackle, and he is playing out of his mind right now. He's sealing off the edge, allowing Jacquizz Rogers to cut back.
And Jesse, he's the one guy you and I thought in film study was weak.
Was the weak link of this offense. He's playing great football right now.
Quiz is 4 yards short of a 100-yard gain. That was a mistake on the right side of the offensive line. Looked like the guard, Greg Pete.
Offense, 73. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
But again, this was a team that smothered Virginia's running game. No big shock. But also Ohio State's. They didn't have Beanie Wells, but Buckeyes got some offensive linemen who got whipped up front by USC.
I think a lot of it has to do with just the style of running backs. You go to Ohio State and you think about some of those running backs they have in that backfield, Maurice Wells. These guys, big physical north-south runners. They haven't seen anybody necessarily yet like Jacquizz Rogers.
But this was the perfect storm. Oregon State's looked average at best. USC's dominated. They're the kings. All of a sudden, here's an executing Beavers offense getting after that Trojan defense.
James Rogers and Stoddard. Top of the formation. With a pump fake. Broken up. Kevin Ellison read the play. Jumped up and batted the pass down.
It's a good job by Kevin Ellison. Now, we've seen that pass 2 or 3 times here tonight from Oregon State. Nice job by Kevin Ellison, just reading, reacting.
You know what I do?
Jumping up.
I do the old pump fake and we go. We go down the court the next time, buddy.
Yeah. The wheels turning in offensive coordinator Danny Langsdorf's heads right now.
Langsdorf, a guy that has been with the New Orleans Saints, the Edmonton Eskimos. He was here with Riley, Mike's first stint as head coach, 97 and 98. And 2nd and 15. It's James Rodgers on the reverse, trying to get the corner. Stepped out of bounds. Matthews and Kerry Harris forced him out. You see a block you like there?
Oh, my goodness. Sammy Stroughter, 19, is known as a punt returner and is a wide receiver that makes plays with his feet. Well, let me tell you what. He sent a message. He sent a big-time message to Kevin Ellison. Right side of your screen, top right of your screen.
And it goes to show you wide receivers how they react when guys are running the football well, and especially when they have one of their own, and James Rodgers carrying it. They'll go downfield and hit people no matter how much bigger they are.
Stroughter's a very good blocker. They need 11 on 3rd down. Nueva. A shot across the middle, complete, 1st down. And there's Stroughter showing the receiving skills. He took a hit but held on.
2 very, very physical plays by Sammy Stroughter that is going to fire this home crowd up and fire his team up. He makes the big block on Kevin Ellison. Now he comes over the middle of the field, makes a big catch.
Did you see him put his right foot in the ground, though? That bought him enough time, just enough time, before the safety was able to come over and hit him.
And Nueva showing that quick release. That's perhaps his best attribute as a quarterback.
Give it to the big guy here, right?
Where is he?
The little big man is the lone setback. You got 3 tight ends and Quiz fighting to the end zone. Shades of 2 years ago when Carroll's team fell behind by 23 and could not rally. And they've fallen into the Beavers' trap once again here in Corvallis. Cena makes it 14-0. It's the team in white that's ranked #1 in the country, folks. The other team's 1 and 2. It didn't look like it. Against USC's mighty defense. #1 in the Pac-10 in just about every category, near the top in the nation after 2 games. Oregon State 2 scoring drives, 1 touchdown each for the 5'6" Rogers brothers. And C.J. Gable gives way here. It's Ronald Johnson. Johnson, a stutter step, and gets out across the 30-yard line. Check the Applebee's weekend menu. Boy, wouldn't an upset here get this week off to a crazy start. Big Ten opens play. Wisconsin in the Big House. Game day will be down at Athens, Georgia as the Tide visit.
Well, last year we had on Thursday night 2 different teams that were ranked #2 go down with us, right?
Yep.
So it's not crazy.
Oregon, late in the season, USF lost at Rutgers. But this is the near unanimous #1 team in a 14-zip hole. Sanchez straight back on 1st down. Short completion to Vidal. Hazelton incomplete. Now they really didn't have it. No touchdown for Oregon State. Alfalava delivered the blow. Isaiah Cook grabbed the football and thought he had a scoop and score, but it'll be 2nd and 10.
Doing the research in this game, a nugget that stuck out to me really clearly was that over the last 52 games, Oregon State is 22-2 when they have fewer turnovers than their opponent. So if they can take this football away, Jesse, if they can find a way to make a big play through this, that's close. He turned with the ball.
If they keep playing faster than USC, and they have been now for a quarter and a half, they're going to get their opportunities of those turnovers.
Do you think he turned with the possession of the ball? He turned his shoulder up the field?
Did he really? I didn't think he had it.
He turned upfield.
Now they'll stop play. Hayes stepped in, and the officials upstairs will apparently take a look at this. And there's got to be clear evidence that the call was incorrect.
Oregon State University is challenging the ruling on the field.
And they'll use their one challenge here. It's their prerogative. Here's another look.
I don't think he ever had possession of it. It's got to be conclusive.
Not there
that he had. From that angle, that doesn't help very much.
But it's worth the coach's challenge. Yeah, I think
Absolutely.
pretty clear from that angle that Hazelton didn't have possession of the ball. Afalava got there and delivered the blow.
You know what is apparent in that video right there, replay, is the fact that Oregon State's on it.
Oh yeah.
They know what's coming.
This will not be a touchdown. You can see the whistle had blown. Even if the call is somehow overturned, then I can't see how they could do that. It would be Oregon State possession.
It looked like Vidal
not a
Hazelton.
score.
Looked like Vidal Hazelton was trying to cradle it. He was swinging it back up into his midsection, but he never got it there. He never tucked that football away.
It's quick. They're coming out.
Yeah.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The pass is incomplete. USC ball, second down. Oregon State starts a timeout.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
Why not?
But you're right. That was a pass attempt to the slot receiver Hazelton. The slot receiver is where SC thought they could make some hay tonight against the Beavers.
And some of those slot receiver throws now are the result of their All-American Fred Davis from last year. The tight end's gone. They're trying to get the ball out to Hazelton more to replace those catches.
And the scouting report in this Beavers defense is you can take advantage of the safeties, a mismatch with that slot receiver. That's what Penn State did repeatedly in the Lions' big win. Hasn't happened so far for SC. It was the first incompletion for Sanchez, but just 15 yards on those 3 completions.
Not a lot of big opportunities downfield yet for USC. They've been very careful throwing the football so far tonight.
Avili motions back in front of Stephon Johnson. And Johnson has it. Shows good strength. Picks up 8. Laybourne on the stop.
I think what's interesting, coming into this football game, USC expected to have a lot of opportunities on the outside because Oregon State normally puts a lot of responsibility on their 2 cornerbacks, Keenan Lewis and Brandon Hughes, to be on islands. What we've seen so far tonight, though, is a lot more shell-type defense from Oregon State. They're lining up 2 safeties in the middle of the field to give double-team help on the outside against USC.
The Trojans are just 1 of 4 guys on 3rd down. They've had a few 3rd and shorts and have not been successful. Gable tries to get the corner. He's hammered near the marker. It'll depend on the spot about the 37-yard line. Keith Pankey and Laybourne combine, and they'll give him the first down, but they put the football down.
And that's on Sarkisian. OC, man, great call, taking advantage of that over-pursuing, very aggressive, flying around Oregon State defense. You got to do something to counteract the intensity that they have there.
How about that?
Yeah.
Well, we thought those numbers would have been flipped for sure in this game.
Midway second quarter, and the USC Trojans at their own 38-yard line. This is their best advancement of the evening so far. Sanchez, can he get away? Takes a shot downfield, and a wide open Damian Williams. So Sanchez shows the escapability and finds the receiver who transferred from Arkansas, his first catch of the night, 26 yards.
I don't think there's anybody watching this football game who thinks that USC is going to be shut out. And so Sanchez, you talked about it early, Chris, when you said this football program wants to see Sanchez when they're down, on the road. That's the kind of play that lifts a football team up.
It is a very good thing Oregon State was able to get pressure on Mark Sanchez because Damian Williams was streaking wide open down the middle of the field. That would have been a sure touchdown.
And Afalava stumbled in the secondary, allowing Williams to make the catch. Now Sanchez pump fakes, flushed again, steps up and just lobs it over the head of Turner. Patrick's 6'5", but he couldn't quite get it to that one.
And Mark Sanchez has not had a lot of time in that pocket so far tonight. He hasn't had a chance to really get comfortable and throw in rhythm. It's helter-skelter because there's orange jerseys flying all over.
Matter of fact, we even had it worked out. We're going to produce some things in here in this game to show Oregon State being pressured and how quickly they need to get rid of the ball. When they need to flip that chart around and show Sanchez under pressure.
Johnson the back on 2nd and 10. McCoy, the tight end, comes in motion. The block for Johnson. And Stephon Johnson gets the corner and gets down inside the 20. A late flag comes in. Afalava forced him out. Patterson was downfield blocking, and that'll take back some of that 19-yard gain.
On the offense, into 17. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
And march it back from the spot of the foul. It'll be SC ball at the 33.
You know, one of the things Pete Carroll preaches to his football team is, guys, just go play your game. Don't do anything above and beyond your abilities. And so you get 14-0 down, you maybe have to remind them of that.
You saw Patterson blocking on Keenan Lewis. 2nd and 7. Fake it to Johnson. Sanchez fires back. Broken up. He was looking for Hazleton. Good defense. Afalava got there. Victor Butler took away some of the time for Sanchez, allowing Afalava to get there.
Once again, Oregon State doing a nice job of pressuring Mark Sanchez, putting a body in his face, take away the easy completions.
You know what, Jesse? You know what? You talk about discipline on route discipline. Look out. They got the flat covered. They got downfield covered, taking away all the options. They're recognizing it. They're seeing the game.
Now McKnight in the ball game. They'll take the direct snap on 3rd and 7. Second time they've tried this tonight. McKnight keeps it. And he is tracked down. Loses the football. Oregon State has it. Turnover is exactly what Carroll wanted to avoid tonight. The second time they try the wrinkle with the speedy McKnight taking the direct snap. Neither play has worked. That results in a fumble. Beavers get it back, up 14.
Setter.
Beavers, after the fumble, take over. They've had 3 possessions tonight, 2 touchdown drives, and on the other possession they drove 49 yards but came up empty. This is Quiz Rogers. Cushing not able to bring him down. 6 more for the 5'6" true freshman.
This is, you know, the last drive that they had Rogers in there. Quiz was getting after him. You see the dancing and the vision. His strength is his vision and his cutting ability.
What's amazing to me about Quiz Rogers is the leg strength for such a little guy. Look right here on the goal line, pulling USC defenders with his legs into the end zone.
Leverage. He's below everybody else, and he's got power down there. He's nearly 200 pounds.
$105 yards on 15 carries.
Man.
And less than a half against USC. Big brother James comes in motion, but this is Quiz again. There's Rogers spinning, 1st down.
Hey, let me ask you, Jesse, how many times do you have a wham back that weighs 185 pounds?
I was just going to say it. The useful thing about James Rogers in motion is he can come to the end and seal off Everson Griffin, who weighs 265 pounds, throwing a block for his little brother.
That's 8 first downs rushing for Rogers alone.
Yeah, you know what? This is up the middle of the field right here. That's what that's saying. They're coming right at the heart of USC.
Into the teeth.
James Rogers in the slot. Trojans show pressure off the edge. Quiz again. That time, flying in to make the play off the corner was Will Harris, the safety, as we check with Reese Davis. Okay, 2nd and 6. Morval flips it. It's a lateral. This is Quiz trying to get the corner. Not much room there. Moyava on the stop. They had a safety against Stanford in the opening game with a play just like that. It was through the hands of the receiver out of the end zone, and the Cardinal got a couple points out of it.
I'll tell you what's so demoralizing right now for USC, what must be, is the fact that Oregon State is pounding the football up the middle. It's not like Lyle Moivao is coming in here. He's averaging 307 yards a game passing, 7th in the nation. They're just throwing it all over the joint. They're running the football up the middle in single back sets with a 5'6" true freshman running back.
But they are spreading the defense sideline to sideline, right, to create that
little
opportunity
plays here and there just like that to make them stay honest.
3rd and 8. With 4 or 5 on 3rd down. Moivao over the middle. Strotter holds on. Will Harris got there at 15 yards for the senior, who once again takes a blow but doesn't give up the football.
And you know what? Sammy Strotter's a tough individual. This is a rally setter for your football team. Free safety way out of play here. Taylor Mays is not in that secondary. Number 2, they're All-American.
You see Lyle Moivao, you see how quick he got his feet set up to get that football delivered over the middle of the field. Here's the key now. They are eating up clock with just about under 2 minutes to go now in the half, not giving USC's offense a chance to get back on the field.
Play clock at 3. Rogers stopped for a loss. Big Fili Moala got him. Aaron, pretty shocking stuff down there.
Yeah, and USC's offense pretty shocked right now. When that 3rd and 8 was going on, Chris, Mark Sanchez and his entire offense walked over to the sidelines because they thought they were going to be coming out on the field. And then when we saw them convert, Sanchez turned around and had a few words for his offensive line, and now he's standing on the bench all the way back here on USC sideline.
Yeah, that's an important role that Sanchez has to assume right now. He is the leader of this team, and he hasn't done it in a long time, but he's got to jump up somebody's fanny and get after him here.
They've only run 20 plays tonight, USC. They can't get the Beavers off the field. Morales motions in the bottom of the formation. Moivao flips it short. It's a screen. Quiz Rogers, the freshman, still alive. Quiz Rogers hauled down inside the 10. Matthews saved the touchdown, but it'll be 1st and goal.
I think sometimes when you come into a football game and you're playing the quote-unquote best defense in the nation, you worry about how you're going to move the football. But sometimes if you just keep it simple, stupid, and just get the football into the hands of your playmakers in the run game, in the screen game, look what can happen.
I am so impressed with Moivao, the quarterback, of how he finds in the passing game the small stature Rogers. They find the passing lane and get to each other.
That was a true freshman talking to Brian Cushing, the senior.
All-American, former Rose Bowl defensive MVP.
Yes, sir, please, thank you.
He wasn't saying that. He's got it again. Loses the hat, and now they'll blow the whistle. He ripped his helmet off, no flag. It was Cushing. He got an earful, and he's... I wouldn't want to upset him.
This
or
USC
Matthews.
defense right now, though, has to be wondering what's going on here. We cannot tackle this true freshman.
How many times tonight have we seen the shoulder pads or above tackled in this football game? They just can't get low enough.
They thought his knee hit the ground. It didn't.
Nope.
Dude's bad.
Clock winding down. 26 in a shocking first halftime out on the field. It's the first time number one's played on a day other than a Saturday in about 6 years, in a stunning first half. 26 minutes until intermission. The Beavers trying to build in a 14-0 lead. Carroll has to be shocked to see his defense shredded like this in the first 30 minutes. This is Quiz Rogers. Hit hard on the corner there. Peoria Harris delivered the blow.
Nice strategy here. You know what? They're going to let this thing go down and just take the 3 and hope for a 17-0. Keep away. Playing keep away.
It's 3rd and goal here. It wouldn't take a shot, you don't think, in the end zone?
Yeah. Don't mess up your 3 shot.
We'll find out when we come back. Mike Riley taking a risk here. There are no timeouts remaining for Oregon State. They took the last one. USC will take a timeout now. This is risky because if the ball carrier is brought down in the field of play, the clock runs. You got to rush that field goal team out there. It's a backup kicker. I don't know.
No, not at all. Don't mess with the momentum and the success you've had. Try for the 3. Play for the 3.
Take the points, go into the halftime. Be very happy because you're getting the ball first in the second half.
Speaking of points, guys in the Sprint Cup Series are in New Hampshire chasing points. It's in Kansas, actually, Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Greg Biffle looking to make it 3 in a row. Carl Edwards is still your points leader. Jimmy Johnson and the rest of the Chase drivers right on his heels.
Hey, you know what? Biffle, those guys got to win races if they're going to catch Carl Edwards.
I'll tell you right now, if you're Lyle Morval, this is either going to one of your guys or nobody's catching the football right now. Again, they cannot get tackled in the field. This is either in the end zone to your guy or it's out.
Way out.
Field goal. Way out. No chance.
A little bit of a gamble, perhaps a little bit of greed here, trying to build on the 2-touchdown lead. Moivau straight back, fires into the end zone. High throw, incomplete. John Reese, the intended receiver, now a flag down in the backfield, and it'll be against the Trojans. They roughed Moivau.
But you're still in a precarious situation here because the clock, and you've just got to be sure that you get the 3 points.
They took a shot to Reese, but Moivau threw into traffic here in the end zone.
Yeah, you know, but I like the thought. At least he was in the back of the end zone.
Personal foul on the defense, number 99. Penalties enforced half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
And you know what this does now? I'm telling you, this opens up a little different situation for you, because now you're down there around the 3 or 4 yard line, and all of a sudden a little swing pass to Rogers in the flat. Wow, look at that.
And Spicer threw the right hand against Spear, and that drew the flag.
But you know what I'm saying, Jesse?
Yeah.
I mean, all of a sudden now if you throw a little flat pass and those quick shifty backs, Rogers, maybe you do it.
It's easier for a play caller going in the red zone from the 4 yard line going in than it is back inside the 15-20.
Moivau looks left, takes time, fires in the end zone, almost intercepted, but caught for a touchdown. James Rogers on the carom. There's a flag down. A flag down. It'll stand. Touchdown, Oregon State. Personal foul, USC. Everything going wrong for Carroll's crew tonight.
This is just what we talked about just a second ago. For Lyle Moivau, you got to be careful because you cannot throw an interception. Well, this is about as close as it comes. Kevin Thomas has the ball go right through his hands, and James Rogers there to capitalize for the touchdown. But wow, if you're Oregon State, you just dodged a huge bullet.
And you know what? Thomas is in the game now. Again, their other starting corner, Sharice Wright, out. You've got Taylor Mays, the All-American, out. So a couple of your starting premier players, playmakers, not there. And Thomas doesn't come up with a play for the Trojans.
Give James Rogers a lot of credit, really. You know, when the ball gets deflected, you get, you know, they work on those concentration drills in practice where they work on tip balls and deflection. Great job by James Rogers just staying with the football to secure the catch and get his feet down.
There's a reaction on the Trojans sideline. That's a huge, huge swing play.
Absolutely.
Instead of the pick and you go in down 14, Riley's team living right.
You got to.
Pending the review, it looked clearly like a touchdown here. 21-0. Oregon State will get the ball to start the second half.
The ball, the momentum. You've got a frustrated USC defense. Aaron's been telling you about Holt getting after him.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Play results in the touchdown. We will now check to see if the penalty will be forced on the extra point or the kickoff.
So the Rogers brothers have accounted for all 3 touchdowns. James has a couple of them receiving. 1 yard run for Quiz Rogers. These guys are going to be around for a few years.
Hey, and
look
Moival.
out, Pac-10.
How about Moival, the quarterback, and the composure that he's shown in this football game?
He got away with one there, though. I don't know. That was a terrible decision that he got lucky with.
They capitalize on a turnover. They bring the ball down the field. They have some mistakes mentally by USC's defense.
It just may be his night, but it was still a bad decision to throw that ball in there.
What's the score, bro? That drive could not have gone any better, though, for Oregon State. You capitalize on points, you capitalize on time of possession, and now you have a chance to go in here at halftime 21 up on the #1 team in the country.
James on the left, he's the sophomore. Nobody really wanted him out of high school. Everybody wanted Quiz, his little brother, and a heck of a package deal for the Beavers. Heck of a lucky break here.
Yeah, this deflection drill, though, you're right, Jesse. It's one of those deals you do 100 times in practice, and you think, why am I doing this? But again, it's players that score and make plays, that score touchdowns. Rogers is out there. He's in the game. Yesterday in walkthrough at practice, we watched this football team going through what really is a very spirited practice. Most walkthroughs, they don't break a sweat. But these guys were focused on catching the football and doing the little things.
And they were relaxed. We were taken aback watching this football team. Here they had USC coming in a day later to play on national TV on Thursday night. And they looked very relaxed, very composed. They were laughing at practice. Jacquizz Rodgers could not have been more calm and just laughing, joking with us. And it's shown itself here in the first half.
Well, it's Quiz's first look at the Trojans, but there's familiarity. It's a conference game, and Pete Carroll knows that these are the kinds of games that have been trouble for the Trojans. Not the big games, not the showdowns against other ranked teams, but as we said at the top, games against struggling teams or previously struggling teams. But this has been all about Oregon State executing, catching USC on their heels because, again, of the penalty. It's a kickoff from the 45-yard line. It's a high one, and Johnson has it. Falls forward to the 13. And that will be the end of a shocking first half. USC 75 total yards, 220 for Oregon State. The Beavers lead 21-zip. Here's Pete Carroll with Aaron.
We just saw a very upset defensive line walk off the field. What is Oregon State doing to frustrate these guys so much?
Right now they're doing pretty good. You know, they're running the ball pretty well, and they're hitting their throws too, and they're converting on third down. But we're not getting down the other side, so we got to go in here and get reorganized, see if we can come out and play a good half.
Why can't you tackle Jacquizz Rodgers?
I don't know. We just keep bouncing off the guy. He's doing a great job. We'll figure it out.
Thanks, Pete. Chris?
Well, they better hope they figure it out. They got a few things to figure out on offense, too. By the Beavers offense in the first half has to go on the field and try to get the ball back. We didn't see this coming. I mean, SC talked about Pac-10 opener. That was the rallying cry. We'll be ready. We know the history.
Yeah. And it's not being done with smoke and mirrors either. This isn't one of those games where you're saying, hey, look, Oregon State's gotten really lucky. They have absolutely taken it with the mind and physically on the field.
USC's defense came into tonight giving up only 197 total yards a game. That was second in the nation. Oregon State's rallied up 220 yards, and they're 5 for 7 on third down. They are dialing it up and having success.
Sanchez's offense, just 3 first downs and 75 yards in the first half. This is an opportunity for Pete Carroll to see his team handle adversity for the first time this season. They were cruising in their first 2 games at Virginia, home against Ohio State. Now, defense needs to stop. Sanchez needs a rally, but can they slow down this speedy Oregon State team? This is James Rodgers at the goal line. There's the Rodgers brothers show in the first half, and he shows the quickness, gets out across the 30. Greg, our Home Depot coaching adjustments.
Well, until you stop the inside zone running of Oregon State, you got no shot offensively, and it's right up the middle. The guard and the tackles are combo blocking. The center is man on man with the nose, and they're whipping them right up the middle of the field. Jesse, until they resolve this problem, they got no shot.
And I don't think we thought coming into tonight that USC would have to sacrifice an extra player to bring him in the box to stop a little true freshman running back. But I'll tell you what, right now, that looks like that's the only way they're going to be able to stop this Oregon State running attack.
And that little freshman is the lone setback behind Moival on first down. And he's got it. And they string him out. He's still able to spin away from the tackle of Ellison, but it's a loss. Aaron?
Chris, Oregon State's offense out there without their senior Sammy Strotter. He's right behind me right now on the bike. He actually came out on the field later than his entire teammates. They had to take him out of his uniform because he was cramping up so bad. They were trying to just cool him down. You see him here trying to get cooled down, warmed up here on the bike. But guys, talking to Mike Riley, he said his biggest fear, his biggest danger, his team getting starry-eyed, Craig, looking up at the scoreboard. Play every single play like you did in the first half was his message, guys.
Yep. It's a good message. Easier said than done. They lose 4 yards in their first play of the third quarter. Nueva to James Rogers and fights for a couple yards.
Hey, going off of what Aaron just said, I agree with what you said there. If I'm Mike Riley, I'm at halftime. I got the #1 ranked team down 21-0. I'm telling the guys, it's 0-0. Going into the second half, let's play the game. Let's not play scared like we're ahead. Let's just play the game.
Get a chance to see if that plan is put into action. Strotter on the sidelines. It's 3rd and 13. They converted 5 of 7 third down chances in the first half. It's James Rogers in motion, top of the formation. USC rushes 4. Morval forced out, and he'll just throw it away. Everson Griffin, who had 3.5 sacks in last year's defensive dominance of Riley there in the pressure. So a punt coming up.
It goes back to first down on this series, and USC's defensive line stunted. They went to the right. They changed up their look on the defensive line, and it worked. It stopped and shut down, made it second and long.
That is the first time tonight that USC has looked like USC on defense.
McKnight is deep. The true freshman Johnny Hecker on the punt. See if they come after it or peel back for a return. Hecker gets it away. Good boot. Drives McKnight back inside the 30. Joe McKnight tries to create room. So dangerous. Did lose the football in the first half. McKnight looking for a play in the second half to redeem himself. Again, the last visit by USC here, 2006. They fill in a deep hole. It was 33-10. USC had won 27 straight Pac-10 games. It won 18 straight road games. They got ambushed. 4 turnovers. Booty and company fell in a big hole. 33-10 was late in the third quarter. They would rally. They would get back within 2 points and a chance to tie it. But Jeff Van Orso breaks up the 2-point conversion, and the Beavers knocked off SC. Is Sanchez have that kind of rally in him tonight. This is Stephon Johnson. Shows his muscle and pushes the pile near midfield, a first down. You see that Jeff Byers, the guard there, pumped up. The USC offensive line didn't do much in that first half.
No, they didn't. But I think I give more credit to Oregon State's defensive line, what they did in the first half, and the speed they played with.
You know, we talked about this Oregon State defense losing 7 starters from a year ago. In that first half, this Oregon State defense looked like last year's defense that led the nation against the run.
Hey, think about that. You lose your entire front 7, all of the seniors. Have to replace those guys. There were some growing pains in the first 3 games for sure, especially against Stanford and Penn State. Sanchez still has it on first down. Has time. Wanted to take a shot downfield. Now dumps it off short. A completion to Turner near the first down marker.
Boy, isn't it amazing what happens when you have success running the ball on first down?
Well, it sure is. I'll tell you what's interesting. USC here maximum protecting for Mark Sanchez. They're only going to get 2 routes out. 2 players on routes. Oregon State staying back in the big zone defense here. Good job by Mark Sanchez, though, keeping his eyes downfield, delivering a completion and moving the chains. But when this game started, USC was not max protecting. They thought they could get a lot of guys out. All of a sudden, that Oregon State rush has really started changing the concept and philosophy of Steve Sarkisian, the offensive coordinator.
There's the second catch for Turner. The SC wide receivers have a total of 4 catches tonight. That's it. Hazelton was in motion. Sanchez picks it up, takes a shot downfield. Johnson will be interfered with. That was Keenan Lewis, their fine corner. There are actually 2 flags down. 1 downfield. where Lewis was covering Johnson, then one near the offensive line.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding on the offense, pass interference on the defense, number 6, penalties offset, first down, previous spot.
You know, one of the things that Mike Riley told Aaron about how you got to come out and not be starry-eyed and all that stuff, but you can't play conservative. You know, clearly there's pass interference down the field, bump, knocked him out of bounds. But there's also that point, Jesse, where you got to go for it, man.
Yeah. At some point, you got to start taking shots downfield. That's the first time tonight USC has taken a chance throwing the football down the field.
Sanchez wanted to throw it far side. Now looking for a block. And he comes up with about 4. Anthony McCoy blocked on the edge, got him a few yards, and another flag is down. Sanchez kind of hunched over there, took a shot.
Yeah.
Boy, he's limping badly. You see, where's that brace? That was the knee that he injured, a non-contact injury in the camp. That's just a precautionary. But he appears to be limping.
After the play, personal foul, late hit on the offense, 68. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, from the end of the run. Down counts, down will be 2.
That was Butch Lewis, the sophomore tackle, penalized, and Sanchez limping back out there. Penalty will mark the ball. You can see. It looked like his knee kind of buckled a bit there.
It did, Chris. It looked like he kind of buckled a little bit, but not enough strength, and he came up and. He's a tough guy, though. You know for a fact he's not coming out unless it actually blows up on him.
Costly penalty. Moves the ball back into SC territory. McKnight in the ball game, and he's got the. Doesn't have the swing pass. Took his eye up off the football as he took a look at the defense.
Uncharacteristic mistakes now from USC. We've seen that penalty. That's the 3rd big penalty that has cost USC. And now Joe McKnight dropping a swing pass with some real estate in front of him down the sidelines. USC right now just can't get out of their way.
And the defense going into halftime had a couple of critical mistakes and penalties. Now USC looking at 6 penalties, 75 yards. So just not being smart.
They need 21 yards on 3rd down. McKnight out. C.J. Gable in the ball game. Turner in motion. Beavers only rush 4. Turner has it, and he's hit at the 40. It'll be 4th and 9. So that senseless dead ball penalty against the tackle Lewis.
And this
moves them back, and are they going to go for it? Yeah, they're still on the field, the offense.
Think about the number of possessions that you might have. Yeah. You have to consider Oregon State's offense has had success. What are 15 yards here? You're down 21-0.
And Reese mentioned you can bleed the clock with the new rules a lot more effectively now. They roll the pocket. Sanchez fires along the sidelines, caught. Damian Williams spinning out of bounds, 1st down. Huge conversion for SC. They keep it and move it to the 26.
It's a big play call by USC and Steve Sarkisian, moving the pocket, getting Mark Sanchez out of the way of trouble and giving himself a clear throwing lane down the sidelines.
Yeah, and look at the protection and how they rolled, and they got leverage with the pass protection, giving time for Williams to work downfield.
Damian Williams quickly become an important part of this offense. Football savvy, great understanding of the game, and just a natural receiver. Sanchez takes a shot down the sidelines. Caught, touchdown, Ronald Johnson. So very quickly, the tone changes. The 4th and 9 conversion. Next play, touchdown, Johnson. They beat Keenan Lewis, the fine corner.
We talked about coming into this game. USC expected to have opportunities on the outside of the football field. A lot of times these cornerbacks get matched up on an island. Great job by Mark Sanchez realizing that and taking a shot.
David Beeler on for the conversion. With the feeling looking at Mike Riley, he knew the importance of that 4th and 9 that SC got as they overcome the major penalty and score in their first possession of the second half. Beavers back to work, but now the lead is 14. And adversity defines the quarterback. Mark Sanchez off the Trojans' first points of the night, trying to rally his offense. It's a familiar scene for the USC kickoff coverage team. Can't start a half any better if you're USC. Stopping the Beavers on a 3-and-out, converting on 4th and 9, and then Johnson catching a touchdown pass, his second of the season. James Rogers joined by Patrick Henderson as kick returners. And they'll start at the 20.
Look back here at the touchdown by USC. Oregon State lines up in a bump and run, man-to-man coverage scheme. Here's Ronald Johnson at the bottom of the screen. He's going to run a quick slant and go. Mark Sanchez does a nice job of realizing the matchup and taking the shot. This USC offense is not an offense to sleep on. They are quick strike. That was their 13th scoring drive. 8 of them now have taken 3 minutes or less.
Now some pressure on this Oregon State offense. So effective running the football in the first half. Quiz Rogers has been the story. He's back out there, 113 yards already tonight against a defense that was given up 51.5 per game. And here's the freshman. But all of a sudden, not quite as much running room. He does a good job to fight forward for 3.
Well, you can just feel, though, that defensive line, how they picked it up. They had some push at least that time. They've got to come clean. They've got to get off the blockers, though. They've got to get to Rogers.
There's Moala, big 295-pounder. He's struggled inside along with Averill Spicer. It's been a frustrating night for those guys. They've been pushed around. Sammy Stradary is back in the ball game, and he's at the bottom of the formation. So he just missed that one series. This is Rogers on 2nd down. And amongst the big boys fighting near the 30, Griffin on the stop, it'll be 3rd and short.
A little bit different right now from USC defensively. They're committing an extra player into the box to try to wrap up Jacquizz Rogers. Right there, Taylor Mays, free safety, came into the box just to try to contain him.
Yeah, it's good to see Mays back in the game for the Trojans. Yeah. But, you know, the other thing that I'm seeing up there is you can get aggressive, sometimes over-aggressive without using your eyes. You have to adjust to the style of running back that they have out there that's juking it around.
Need about a half yard. Moivau on the sneak. And they get enough push to create a first down. Move the chains.
I'll tell you what's interesting. I think if you're USC, you do have to be careful a little bit because we talked at the beginning of the show. What Oregon State likes to do is get those play-action fakes going and take shots down the football field. If you're USC, all of a sudden you start putting that extra player in the box, you're now setting up your Oregon State's wide receivers one-on-one, and all of a sudden those big play opportunities present themselves.
But we heard Aaron talk earlier about Sammy Stradary, their big play strike guy on the bike. He just went out of the game. Be interesting to see if he can hang in there with his leg injuries.
Rogers again. He was hit in the backfield. Little guy gets away. So tough to tackle this guy. Harrell looking for answers, and his defense is looking for number 1.
Look, if we can, let's slow it down. Let's slow the pinball down for a moment. And let's just see how the young man finds his way through traffic. His vision, his cut, missed tackle number 2. There's Ray Maulua, who couldn't get over and put a shot on him.
And he keeps his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage, too, doesn't he, Craig?
About 5'6". He's like 9, 10, 11 inches shorter than those offensive linemen blocking for him. SC cannot locate the little guy. And when they find him, they can't bring him down. Luga delivering the blow. It'll be 3rd and short again.
You know, Oregon State has such a good tradition here recently of good running backs. You go back to Ken Simonton, Vincent Bernard, Steven Jackson. All of a sudden now we got a true freshman, Jacquizz Rogers. Making a name for himself here as well.
The different kind of back than those guys. Those guys are much more physical runners.
Yeah.
He's the only setback. You need about 1.5 yards on this third down. Must make the 41. From the shotgun, laterals to Quiz. He's fighting, but he won't get there. SC's defense stands up. And they force a punt. First time we've seen that look. Kind of a shotgun and then a quick lateral.
And you know what? Against most teams, that works. But against USC's speed at linebackers, it doesn't work.
Did you see how fast Kaluka Mayabu got back there? Man, oh, man.
And from the inside out. I mean, you know, he's in there. You know they're thinking inside because that's where the success has been.
Look at Mayabu right there. Forced Jacques Rogers back inside. A great job of USC pursuing and gang tackling.
Here's Hecker again. As he got close in his last punt. It's a shorter boot. McKnight, who's had a tough night with the fumble, gathers it. And SC and Mark Sanchez go back to work 70 yards away, down by 2 touchdowns. As again, class doesn't begin here until next week. It's the quarter system. The small contingent of Trojans, it's a kind of mini version of the band that's made the trip. Most of their fans didn't think this was a big enough game to make the journey. It's turned into one. C.J. Gable cuts it back. First down run up near the 45-yard line.
This game has turned in the second half for USC because of their offensive line. The offensive line on first down coming off with a nasty attitude, pushing and driving and moving. Angles, they're all across the board. These folks are getting down on linebackers. They're pushing, they're blocking. Look at the push, the surge.
I think one great thing about USC, too, offensively is they're able to use their formations creatively. They use a lot of different bunch and cluster looks all over the football field. Can really confuse a defense.
Gable out. Stephon Johnson in the game. He's got it. And that time good penetration off the edge. Keaton Christa got it.
I'll tell you, going back to that last drive, big play by USC's defense, really forcing Oregon State to punt. Oregon State's running the football. They're bleeding the clock. If they're able to convert that first down, they may bleed this thing all the way down to the end of the quarter, but USC's defense coming up huge. And again, playing off of that momentum that their offense is feeling right now.
The 75 yards at halftime, already 90 in this third quarter for SC.
We knew that. We studied this game right, didn't we?
Second and 11. Sanchez back. Steps forward. Fires far side. Caught by McKnight. And he's down near the 40-yard line. So they split out McKnight, and he was wide open.
The wheel route has hurt Oregon State against USC several times. Last year, 2 or 3 times in the game. You know, you try to get a count up for everybody out there. You just can't keep up with them.
And I love that throw from Mark Sanchez. He feels Dwight Robertson, the linebacker from Oregon State, closing on the play. What does Mark Sanchez do? Back shoulders Joe McKnight down the sideline so only he can catch it.
You get the feeling that Steve Sarkisian, who calls the plays, beginning to get in a rhythm now for USC. It's McKnight to the right of Sanchez. Sanchez steps up. Doesn't really want to run on that knee that's been a little gimpy. He's shoved out of bounds at the 39. We've seen Sanchez, Jesse, continually flex that knee. It was kind of a non-contact re-aggravation of that left knee, and I don't think he's moving quite at 100% right now.
You know, there's one thing I could say watching tape on Mark Sanchez, his game that you could criticize because he's played so well to this point. He can learn to do a better job of understanding when the play's dead and getting rid of the football or just getting down. You know, this offensive line has only given up 1 sack all year. That came against Ohio State. That was not the line's fault. No. Sanchez tried to outrun the defense, but you'd like to see him understand when the play is dead.
He picked up 3, second and 7. Sanchez fires left side. That's the freshman tight end, Blake Ailes. And he's got a first down inside the Oregon State 30-yard line. So they used the freshman who caught that little 1-yard touchdown against Ohio State.
And you saw how they used him, too. They bring him in motion, right? So, again, this is Sarkisian really spreading this defense out. It's not just the middle of the field, but they've hit now a couple of McKnight on the top of the field on the left side, come down to the tight end on the right.
And Mark Sanchez is feeling it right now because he gave Joe McKnight the same throw that he just gave Blake Ailes there. That back shoulder throw, that's a tough throw to make as a quarterback. Mark Sanchez now is just stroking, delivering the football.
You're going to see a lot of number 89 in the coming years for USC. One of the top recruits in the country, Blake Ailes, making an impact here. Pete Carroll says, as he tries to counter the negative recruiting of other schools, hey, our freshmen play now. Our freshmen, about half of them get right in a game. We don't have to come here and sit for a few years if you're good enough. This is McKnight. Nothing. Maybe dropped for a loss. It's been a tough night for Joe McKnight, hasn't it?
That's how you slow down Joe McKnight. He has to be redirected at least once. And if you can get him to jump twice, you've got a chance. His vision's to the left side of the screen. He's out here looking to left tackle, looks to the outside. 1, 2, 3.
Joe McKnight is not the most disciplined runner. He doesn't necessarily always run to the crease or the hole. He has a lot of confidence in his ability for the big play home run. But you're right, Craig. The defense there doing a nice job corralling him, make him stop.
C.J. Gable in the ball game in front of Havili. They fake it to him. Sanchez takes a shot. A wide open Damian Williams diving toward the end zone. Touchdown. They lost track of the talented Williams.
That's not a smart move.
No.
And they did it with motion. They first bring Williams in motion. Havili, the fullback, takes underneath, occupies. They occupy the safeties, and then Talent takes over.
Where was this offense in the first half all of a sudden? Damian Williams, though, kind of showing you his football savvy. Seeing the zone develop, it widens open. He's able to just run in. Great throw by Mark Sanchez. This USC offense right now is rolling.
Savvy move to put that football on the pylon. There's the touchdown. He came very close to stepping out right there. They'll take another look at it, but that was just did he get a foot down before the ball at the pylon?
It's that same angle in that corner of the end zone that Rodgers scored in the first quarter. We couldn't really get a good view.
Touchdown.
That's kind of a bang-bang play like in baseball, huh?
Yeah.
Did the foot hit the ground before the pylon?
That's what we got to look at, absolutely.
In any case, another impressive drive for Sanchez and the Trojans. He took over at their 30, moving at 70 yards, and again, not taking very much time. Only 3:01 so far.
Well, the game clock now for Oregon State has turned into an hourglass. The sand is not going through the hole fast enough.
Oh, this quick stride offense, we talked about it before, heading into this drive. USC, 13 scoring drives, 8 of them come under 3 minutes. This last scoring drive took 3 minutes, 1 second.
The field is confirmed. Play results in a touchdown.
Wow.
So it's the 3rd touchdown of the season for the former Arkansas Razorback.
On the field before the game, visiting with some of the receivers there, they said that this young man's presence on campus has made the receiving corps better, competition. And they also said the fact that they don't have 2 individual superstars out there, they all are competing, trying to have time.
Beeler for the conversion. Damian Williams, the guy who came in, studied a lot of tape side by side with his quarterback Sanchez. They hook up for a touchdown. All of a sudden, it's a 7-point game.
ESPN.
Welcome back to ESPN's College Football Primetime, presented by Applebee's. With 21-zip halftime lead, things have tightened up considerably. 2 touchdowns for SC in the 3rd quarter. As that Beavers defense trying to regroup, the Trojans have put 147 yards in their column in this quarter alone. Oregon State to get the football back, now protecting just a 7-point lead, and they have just 17 yards in this quarter and the 1 first down. Rodgers will take a shot from his end zone. Good coverage. A flag comes in. Flag comes in on the tackle. Garrett Green is the backup quarterback for USC tonight, and a star in special teams down there to make the tackle. Trojans signaling it'll be against Oregon State and create some bad field position, just what they didn't need in this crucial possession.
And watch this. USC's defense creates turnovers in bunches.
During the return, holding on the receiving team, number 45. Penalties and force half a distance to the goal, first down.
And this is a place where you got to worry about that.
Now the team that will visit Lincoln, Nebraska, so the field position awful now as the Beavers take over and about their 7-yard line. Here's Rogers. Burrowing to the 10.
Aaron, is Stronger, is he physically capable of going out and performing at 100%?
I mean, CJ, look at the guy. I mean, he's struggling walking around. He's struggling running. When the offense was on the field the last time, he stayed close to Mike Riley, begged him to put him in. Mike Riley was like, no, sit down, sit down. He's so gimpy, guys. These cramps are getting to him bad.
That means a lot to him. This is a senior. He had a punt return for a touchdown a couple years ago against USC, but missed most of his junior season. Clinical depression was the eventual diagnosis. This is his final year in Corvallis. This is a huge one. And he can't go right now, full speed. Norval, short throw, complete. Rogers fighting up near the 15. Malauga right there on the stop. It'll set up 3rd and 2.
This is a huge play right now for Oregon State offensively. All of the momentum is with USC right now. They have to convert this 3rd down, try to get some of that back, and more importantly, rest their defense that's on the sideline.
What would you call here? What would you guys call?
Right to the middle of the field. The success for the game for them at Oregon State has been in between the tackles, making defenders miss. Go back to it until they stop it.
3 receivers to the left of Norval. It's Rogers in the backfield. Norval fires, complete, first down. A clutch reception by Shane Morales. The possession receiver has been very quiet tonight.
And really a nice job. Offensive coordinator coming out and getting the opening through the motion, out, back to the middle, finding the soft spot.
Shane Morales does a really nice job of working over the middle and kind of working in close quarters. He came into the game with 22 receptions, but he was 10th in the country in catches per game. They can find a way to get him more involved.
That's his first tonight, Jesse. He had 13 against Stanford in the opener. He's been very quiet. Rogers in motion, and Quiz Rogers takes the handoff. Breaks a tackle. Quiz Rogers across the 40. Malauga had to run him down, but he got 14.
With his older brother, James Rogers, going from the slot, using him as the wham back, they're able to go back to the middle of the field again. And Rogers, I'm telling you, look at the weight difference. 170 pounds coming to the outside. They've done it again. It just shows you don't have to be a beast to go in there and kill somebody.
The offensive line does a good job of just sealing it off, though, and give Rogers a lot of credit. He sees the cutback lanes. He's got great vision. He's able to hit it when he sees his opportunity.
Rogers giving away about 85 pounds to Kyle Moore, the defensive end that he blocked there. And Quiz at 148 yards rushing. Moival pressured on first down, and he throws on the sidelines. Incomplete. Cushing grabbed it, but could not come down inbounds as Clay Matthews was all over Moival.
That's an athletic play there by Cushing, who was questionable playing in this game. Game time decision because of his hamstring, a little bit of a tweak. But I think it's the pressure from Matthews down below, Jesse.
I'll tell you what, Clay Matthews comes into the game. He's got 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and nobody touches him.
Does his foot come down? Knee?
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's well, no,
I don't
But the
think
ball
he
touched the ground, did not have the ball.
Yeah, that's right.
But
he got the knee
his knee
down.
could get down, though.
But the ground helped with the reception.
What an athletic play, though, boy.
Man.
Yeah. Wow.
Clay Matthews, though, played linebacker, but they're so deep there, they had to find a spot for him. He's so talented and strong, so in the spring they put him on the defensive end, and he can really run and create havoc.
Matthews has been a big playmaker. He's forced 2 fumbles. He's recovered 2 fumbles this year. Moival got away with a rough decision right there. There was no receiver anywhere near pushing.
Well, that's 2 decisions tonight for Lyle Movile that we've seen. In that first half, at the very end, that touchdown pass that easily could have been intercepted. There's another throw right there. I understand if you're a quarterback, hey, I don't want to take a sack, but if you're going to throw it out, throw it way out of bounds.
Confirmed. Oregon State ball, second down.
That was pretty clear in the review. So 2nd and 10. 17 seconds left in this third quarter. Keep it on the ground here. Try to bleed some more of that clock, or do you got to wing it?
It's worked, hasn't it? Been pretty efficient.
It's
not much in the third quarter, though.
But it's not just that you're bleeding the clock. You've hurt this team running inside right now.
Yep. Don't get too cute, Fowler. Ball going the other way for a touchdown. Sweetheart.
Maluga shows pressure, and he says that a Beaver offensive lineman flinched. No doubt Carroll and Nick Holt saw the pressure got to Moivau, that he made a shaky decision there. They gave a blitz look right there. Was there a flinch by the offensive line?
The tight end Howard Kroom came flying off the ball as well.
Howard Kroom, the second cousin to Sylvester Kroom, Mississippi State's head coach.
Ball start. On the offense, number 60. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Lincoln, the center, is flagged. So it'll be 2nd and 15. Sanchez says, give me that football back. We're in a groove. Give it to me again.
He gave the traveling call.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
James Rogers, bottom of the formation. That's Morales in the slot on 2nd and 15. Movile looks left. Fires. Morales well covered in a very short gain. Ellison wraps him up. Got about a yard. That's it.
I like the defensive call, too. Rush 3, drop 8, change it up a little bit. First time tonight we've seen only 3 in the rush.
Really force Oregon State now into a really 3rd and long. This defense is feeling it. Got a lot of that momentum.
So a 3rd and long for the Beavers win the 4th championship medal here in the 3rd quarter, but still down by 7. Oregon State in 3rd and about 14 here. A decision to make. Did they take a shot downfield? Risk a turnover? They need to cross midfield to convert this first down. Moivau takes a shot over the middle. Strotter could not come up with it. Went diving for it. Would have been a first down. Instead of punt. Kevin Thomas defending.
Well, pressure will really give you a chance if you can on offense. And Oregon State's offensive line, they picked up the 6-man blitz. Strawder's made this play time and time again. Did it get deflected a little bit?
I don't know. I think Strawder dropped that football. That's a momentum changer if you're Oregon State.
Johnny Hecker, the freshman punter. Gets it away. McKnight fumbles it. Dives back on the football. It's been a rough night for Joe McKnight. Had the turnover on the direct snap play. Almost a killing fumble there.
Chris, in the pregame, they had a hard time fielding punts from their own guys warming up. And this ball was really squirreling away from him because it was a poorly hit punt. Talk about a break.
Austin Hall was down there. Couldn't quite come up with a recovery. So USC, 2 possessions, 2 touchdown drives in the second half. From the 29-yard line. Johnson in motion, and they give it to Stephon Johnson, and he runs up the middle, running through arm tackles. He's the more physical back, and he's been a lot more successful tonight than McKnight or Gable.
Yeah, Stephon Johnson's really the consistent running back that USC has here. You're going to see him just run here to the left, stretch it, but he's very consistent. He stays on his course, sees the cutback lane, and you see him punch it. When he sees the open green, he's putting his foot in the ground, he's getting forward.
46 yards for Johnson on 6 carries. Johnson again. Fights for 2. Slade Norris, the senior defensive end, on the stop.
They have 3 or 4 really solid runners for USC, and I asked their running back coach before the game, how do you keep these guys happy? He said, well, it just worked out so far, but we really have different personalities. They all want to have a shot at it.
Yeah, I think a lot of the knock on it is, well, one guy never gets in the game and really gets into a rhythm. But you know what? You can't really argue with all the different runners they have. They each bring a different element and a running style.
Well, it's McKnight in the game, but he's in the slot position. Now he motions back. They fake it to him. Sanchez pressured. Gets away. Fires. Incomplete. He was looking for Turner. Sanchez on the run there. Randy Hughes in coverage. It'll set up 3rd and long. Then Terry, the backup, got near him.
What a gutty performance by Mark Sanchez on the road. We know his leg's not 100%. It doesn't seem to be, but he's got pressure. He's expecting it, Jesse, as soon as he turns his head around.
Oregon State tonight has done a very good job. When USC's tried to move the pocket, they've found bodies and got them in Mark Sanchez's face. Made it very, very difficult for him to throw the football tonight on the run.
Brandon Hughes, a nice job recovering. So Trojans need 9. Sanchez fires far side, but short of the first down. Williams has it at the 50, hit immediately by Christic. Good job with a linebacker on a pretty quick receiver.
And this defense is taught to read routes. In zone, they don't hug an area. They hug a man coming to them. Mark Banker's an excellent defensive coordinator.
It was a great job by the defense. They're getting pressure again on Sanchez. He had Ronald Johnson open for the first down throw, but because of the pressure, couldn't get it to him.
Wojtnik on the kick. And there's a fair catch. Yeah, they call it a matchup zone, kind of like a basketball defense, like the Temple Owls of John Chaney. Beavers take over up by 7. Hey, 1 o'clock Eastern time. Kyle Edwards, a slim lead over Jimmy Johnson and Biffle, just 10 points back. The lead is just 7 points here, Oregon State. A little help from the defense, force the punt. Now they've got it at their 13-yard line. First down throw from Moivau. Looking downfield. Takes a shot. Caught. Morales at the 40. That was a tough assignment for Maualuga to cover Morales. They get 22.
You can't have time to throw the ball as your offensive line is working. Look at the slant up front by the defensive line. They bunch him up, given time.
You see the accuracy here by Moivau, just throwing it right over the top of Maualuga to get the completion. If Oregon State's going to ice this game, they're going to do it getting plays in the passing game. They cannot rely on the run.
And Danny Langsdorff pinned deep. A first down throw. Throw again in first down. Moivau on the run. Flips it short. Underneath Brady Camp, the tight end. There's a little wrinkle. Allison on the stop, but they get about 7.
Brady Camp was out in front blocking for Lyle Moivau. This is just a nice job of the quarterback understanding where his outlet is.
Yeah, I'm just circling for you there, bro. You keep going, but is this great coaching? You get your guy blocked and get in the game. Huh? That is outstanding by Camp getting back in the game.
Just improvisation, huh?
Yeah. And good by the quarterback also knowing where his guy is.
Moivau to throw again. Moves the pocket, flips it far side, risky throw. Evan Ellison was right in the neighborhood. Morales, the intended receiver. Spicer pressured him.
It's the 3rd time tonight I've been holding my breath watching him throw that football. And Oregon State's had a lot of success right now. They've run the football now for 143 yards. But man, oh man, they're going to need plays in the passing game. You got to be careful.
He's rolled up over there, covered.
what, Averill Spicer came close to a roughing the passer flag. He got there a little late to Moival, got away with it. Now it's 3rd and 3. They've been bold in this series, pitching the ball around, abandoning the running game for now. See if they give it back to Quiz. And they fake it to him. Moival back to throw. Fires short, complete, and knocked down short of the first down is Howard Kroom. Kevin Ellison, a strong series for the senior safety. There's a flag holding against the Beavers, but it'll be 4th and about a yard. Does Carroll decline it? Assuming
he's making
that
sure
Riley would punt.
He's making sure it's a long yard before he declines it.
Holding on the offense, number 66. Penalties declined. Down will be 4.
What do you do now if you're Oregon State?
You kick the ball. You got to depend on your defense. You kick the ball down there and just assume your defense is going to go out and make a play.
11:21 to go. They only used a minute and a half on that possession, the Beavers, because they did throw the football. They kind of tipped the field position table. They got the ball near midfield, but didn't chew much clock.
Well, you risk that when you throw it every down.
Can McKnight make a play? Hecker methodically gets it away off the side of his foot. It may work out okay. McKnight just runs away from it, and the true freshman punter benefits from a very lucky bounce after the shank. So Mark Sanchez and the Trojans with all the other time in the first football weekend of autumn, a huge game. Implications in the championship chase. Number 1 still down. Only 7-point deficit right now, but they're in their 6-yard line. Worst field position for either team all night. And Sanchez in his end zone. Flips it short, drops. Alan Bradford couldn't collect it. It's been a problem for SC tonight. Quite a few drops.
The drops are there, and I just wonder, Aaron, does Oregon State's bench, do they realize how close they are to this?
They realize, but honestly, their mood has not changed from now to the first half. I mean, the student section behind their bench is obviously excited, screaming at them, but Lamoevo over here by himself, just chilling, checking everything out. They don't seem like the score is affecting them yet.
On 2nd down. Big hit in the middle, but McKnight gets away. Joe McKnight can't get far. He was hammered inside by Pernell Booth, who couldn't bring him down. Afalava's got him after about a 4-yard gain.
McKnight's had a lot of mishaps so far tonight. He's some drop balls, a drop punt, the fumble. The man-oh-man, strong running inside.
Strong behind those shoulder pads. McKnight showing you a little bit of courage. USC on the road down. They've got to have players like McKnight step up and make an individually outstanding effort.
McKnight just 10 yards rushing on 7 carries. 3rd and 5.
There's Williams out there, big play guy.
Sanchez fires. Far side incomplete. Overled Ronald Johnson, who was covered by Afalava, 3 and out. And a punt from very poor field position.
Huge stand there by the Oregon State defense, not only getting the 3 and out, not only trying to recapture some of that momentum. Oregon State's offense now is going to have a chance to get the football back here in midfield, try to score some points.
Taylor Kavanaugh to return the Wojtnik punt. Not a very good one. Kavanaugh hit immediately, but the Beavers start at the USC 42-yard line. Inside 10 minutes to go. Georgia, or LSU, or Alabama, or Florida, OU, Texas, Missouri in the Big 12. You are dialed in tonight hoping that number 1 goes down. There's number 1 has been a big part of this Beavers effort. Wiz Rogers leans forward for about 8 to get back to the original game plan, huh?
Well, you know what? You see the clock, it's over, tick, tick, tick. It's working against USC right now. How disciplined is that young man, freshman? He wanted to bounce one more hole, but he knew he shouldn't and couldn't.
He plays beyond his years, understanding that Oregon State needs to get points out of this drive. The good teams that put teams away They need to score points right now, up 7. They need to make this a 2-possession game.
What's impressive is that this guy had 62 carries coming into the game, only had lost 3 yards rushing. He rarely gets trapped back there. Great escapability. Play clock at 3. Rodgers leans forward, should have a first down.
And they're not reinventing the wheel right now offensively. They keep bringing James Rodgers in to seal up that edge and let his little brother, Quizzy, work his way inside.
It's the wadding effect, really, by Oregon State's offensive line. Get them up there in the middle, don't let them penetrate, and allow Rodgers to dance to the daylight.
It's a good job by offensive coordinator Danny Langsdorff of just going back to what's been working, not trying to do anything too fancy. Go back to what's been successful today.
We're seeing these true freshman tailbacks on consecutive Thursday nights.
Yeah.
Stewart for Colorado, another guy who arrived with kind of a chip on his shoulder, very undersized back. He just kind of dazzled West Virginia, and tonight, the guy they called Mr. Touchdown in Texas high school football, Quiz Rodgers, doing a number on USC. Where do these guys come from that can step in as true freshmen?
I think, just the expectation level now that these kids have when they come onto campus. They're more mature, they're more strength about their bodies. But you don't walk in against USC on national television as a freshman and do what he's doing.
If you do, if you're Quiz Rodgers tonight, fresh set of downs inside of 9 minutes to play. Here's a reverse. Quiz to James Rodgers. Trying to get a block on the edge, but he'll be dropped after a short gain. Mayava on the stop as we check back with Reese Davis.
National title game.
Reese, thank you. 2nd and 9 for the Beavers. Morval. Has time, fires. Ooh, snuck it in there to traffic at Sammy Strotter. Now check it. Daryl Catchings, 15. Catching it short of a first down. He put that in tight space.
Now, run the football up the middle. But watch the quick release here. Now, this is just smart. First of all, Jesse, you're pointing at the play clock. Let it bleed down. He did the 5 seconds and then the release.
I'll tell you what, you can see Brian Cushing flying out to get under that. Look at little Quiz's block, though, on the edge, playing way above his size. Woo!
Matthews just leaping a little guy. You say run it right here. 3rd and a long 2. 2 tight ends. They're going to throw it. Morval broken up. No flag. Excellent defense by the 3rd corner, Kevin Thomas, and you're shaking your head.
Well, you know what? Keep going back to it until they stop it. That's my whole theory. Now, you've got a kicker. Remember the situation here. Your starting kicker, Kahut, has a bad flexor. In pregame, he was out there doing a nice job. So you're going with your backup kicker here, who does not have the same leg.
It's Sean Seenham. He was 1 for 1 against Hawaii after Kahut had missed 3. This is a 41-yarder.
No gimme.
It'll be the career long. Huge. Can they give a 10-point lead here? It's blocked. Blocked at the line by USC.
Fellas, this is exactly what he did in pregame. He kicked the ball low with no trajectory on the kick. They were concerned about it, but had no choice.
Lane Matthews on the block. An enormous play inside of 7 minutes. Instead of being down 10, Sanchez back to work down 7. A lot easier when it's a 1-score game instead of a 2-score game.
Absolutely.
But there's real urgency for USC now inside of 7 minutes.
Patience here, nothing big. Do your offense, run it, throw it, balance.
Stephon Johnson gets to the outside. A flag comes in late. It's in the holding area. Looks like it's going to erase his first down gain. Brandon Hughes, you saw the starting corner for Oregon State with his helmet off on the sidelines there.
Holding on the offense, number 86. 10-yard penalty, previous spot, still first down.
It's the tight end McCoy.
Now he'll be up here on the top of the screen there. You'll see whenever he gets out here, the extension. Move your feet, stay with him, don't let those hands go.
It's costly penalties for USC killing them right now. Their defense just did an amazing job after Oregon State began that drive inside USC territory, and they hold them to no points. Man, oh man, you'd love to be able to capitalize now.
1st and 20. Sanchez just trying to get the crowd to quiet down. Who's he kidding? We're in Corvallis, Mark. He just tried to quiet the crowd down. This is not the Coliseum, my friend. They're not going to pay attention.
Pete Carroll from the sideline was calling timeout, trying to get the official to hold up the play. Got a little buzz going in the stadium right now, don't you? You feel it?
There's a lot on the line in this game. Not just for the Beavers and the Trojans, but everybody watching around the country. USC hasn't looked like a #1 team at all tonight. Sanchez, pump fakes, flushed, incomplete. Well covered was McKnight. They were all over number 4, and Slade Norris was pressuring the quarterback.
USC wanted to go to a middle screen to the running back, but the defensive line and linebackers did a good job of just recognizing, watching the quarterback, and seeing the play develop.
Fire zone. One man dropped off that defensive line, and he took away the screen in the middle and boxed the deal. Again, hats off to Mike Riley, Mark Banker, the defensive coordinator, for the play calling that they're doing.
Is he really having that much fun trying to protect the lead and preserve a big upset here?
I think he wanted intentional grounding right there. I think he wanted the call.
You saw Banker there, the defensive coordinator. It's Bradford in the game. They send him to the flats. Sanchez flushed out again. Tripped up, flips the ball, incomplete. Just got it away as Victor Butler was grabbing his shoe. And that's Banker wanting another penalty. No flag. 3rd and 20.
It's amazing. This year, we've not seen Mark Sanchez have this little time to throw the football. In the first 2 games, he's had a lot of time to sit back, find guys downfield. But tonight, he's just been harassed all night long. And you see Oregon State up front, stunning, running moving around, absolutely.
And I think the matchup zone that's taught at Oregon State has really played well for them tonight, because every time he's had to leave the pocket, they've been matched up in the secondary and covered.
Just 3 in the play clock. Gets it away. They flip it short to McKnight. Joe McKnight. Not enough space to use that speed. He's run out, and SC will have to punt. They're just 2 of 10 now on 3rd down.
And another stat that I think is real telling in this game, 7 penalties against USC for 84 yards.
What's happened now at the beginning of this half, USC has found 2 quick strike scoring drives, and the Oregon State defense has stepped up with USC pinned back in their own end to get the football back.
Whitening, a good boot this time. He drives Kavanaugh back, who calls a fair catch at the 23. Can Oregon State hang on and shake up the championship chase here in Corvallis tonight? Inside of 6 minutes to play, you can see that top 10, when they visit Corvallis, 4 of the last 5 have left losers.
Well, I'll tell you, Chris, the question about their standings, I'm getting a lot of text messages from coaches. They're loving this.
You better believe it. If you're a contender and you didn't think that anybody in the Pac-10, much less Oregon State, was going to take down USC. Camp, the tight end, motions to the left. This is Rogers running through tackles again and spinning forward for about 7 yards. Reese Davis has a Sports Center right now.
Chris,
Here's Thanks. Ball at the 30 now. 2nd and 3. Inside of 5 minutes to play. Here's Rodgers. First down across the 40. Move the chains. Bleed the clock. 11 more for the true freshman.
Now, if you're USC, you've got to turn the football over. Now, here's the problem, Jesse. You've got a runner that's 5'6". It's hard to get low enough to go down and strip the football from it.
And it does not matter right now what USC is trying to do defensively. They committed 9 players to the box on that run. Jacquizz Rodgers still found a way through.
That's always Carroll's defensive mantra. Attack the football, create the turnover. Haven't been able to do that tonight, Aaron.
No, they haven't, Chris. Kind of an interesting gesture over here on the offense side of the bench. The coaches pulled the USC offense off the bench and said, get out there and watch your defense and cheer them on. Some of them come walk back over, but when they were sitting here, their heads were down, they were quiet, nobody was talking, so it was kind of a move to get them out there, kind of moving around a bit.
Well, Aaron, it's funny to see what happens to an offense when all of a sudden they start struggling again. The last 3 drives now for USC have gone 4 plays, 3 plays, and 3 plays, and 3 punts. They've been struggling. That's why they're holding their heads down.
Yeah, that holding penalty killed them in the last possession.
Yeah.
So a fresh set of downs from Webber. Rodgers. That time they don't let him go. Gang tackling, Cushing trying to rip the ball out. Matthews there on the stop.
Boy, but this play clock 40, I mean, it just rolls down.
USC using a quick timeout. This is kind of as a player down on the field. But Carroll did signal a timeout.
Oh, wow.
Look at this, Maluga.
Uh-oh.
He's pointing at that right leg. This is the senior middle linebacker, the heart and soul of SC's defense. And he'd lose something much more than a football game if this is a serious injury.
They're looking for the end points on that knee, obviously, to find out if it's loose and how loose it might be. But Maluga plays in the middle of the field. The game and the action's been in the middle all night. There he is, 58. See if we can see anything.
He was kind of bent over there after he was engaged.
He jumped and came down, and the timing, he timed the hit on his leg as he came back down.
Maluga active tonight. He's been involved in 13 tackles. Sanchez wondering, will he get the football back? Will he be down 7? How much time will he have as Maluga is helped off?
Well, you know, you hate to see that. We had a chance to talk to Ray Maluga this week, and he said, you know, he missed the first half of the Oregon State game last year.
2 years ago here.
2 years ago, and he missed the meeting, and this was a game that he really wanted to come in and make a statement. Man, you just hate to see that.
Well, this defense, though, it's not just about one individual. This team's made up of a lot of really good football players. Now, Maluga's the best, maybe perhaps linebacker in the middle in the country. So it's not like they're just going to run another guy out there. But this defense now has got to pick it up. You got to find a way to force a turnover. They're 6th in the country in forcing turnovers this year. So now is the time the defense has to step up and somehow strip the freshman of the football.
7 takeaways, 7 sacks coming in. They had just 1 sack, no takeaways tonight. Rodgers runs through the tackle. You could see Cushing was trying to grab the football away from him, but didn't get the ball and didn't get the runner.
You know, again, it's down there, right? You're low in your profile. It's not as easy to strip them.
What's amazing is you watch a lot of the other defenders on USC, and when Jacquizz Rodgers gets that first contact, they all kind of slow down because they assume he's being tackled.
Well, it was 1967. USC was ranked #1. O.J. Born here in Corvallis in the crowd watching that game.
As his father, Bud Riley, was an assistant coach on that football team.
You know what? And the Pac-10 has taken a lot of abuse around the country over the last week or two for poor performance. Now look at that, just doesn't look good, you know. But this conference tonight, having one team out there that's 1 and 2 step up. Now I don't know if it's good. You know, obviously you don't want to have the #1 team go down the country, but people have been bashing the Pac-10.
See that Carroll spent his timeouts with more than 4 minutes to play. So a crucial third downer. He's got just one timeout left. Beavers need 6 yards. James Rogers in motion. This is Quiz Rogers. They keep it on the ground, and he doesn't get the first down. Hammered at the 49. So Carroll will keep. Thought he was going to keep that final time out of the pocket.
He looks like something's going on here. I don't see a flag.
Now Luga trying to test that leg. Some confusion here. The clock stopped at 3:55.
Why is the game clock stopped?
No idea. I don't think Carroll meant to use that final timeout, so when the clock stopped, I think he was concerned.
Fresh. You know what? I'm not sure that didn't save him 5 or 10 seconds.
Absolutely there.
You'll see, may have caught a break with the clock. Beavers rush the punt team out. Again, this is the true freshman, Johnny Hecker.
He's not been good.
No,
he has not had a good punt this season.
He got lucky with the shank that rolled dead inside the 15 earlier in this quarter. High snap. Hecker collects it. And it's again off the side of his foot. McKnight just can't get up there to get it. And it's going to roll dead down near the 3. You want to see the #1 team in the country tested, pushed to the limit, forced to dig deep on the road, hostile environment, conference opponent. 3:15 to play. Sanchez and the Trojans trying to engineer a comeback, go 98 yards away as all the other contenders look on, Craig.
You know what? Everybody's looking on. We know it's a tough deal that you've got to go through the course of the season, but I believe the perception was USC was going to run the table, and the Pac-10 had a team sitting there. We had questions this week about the Pac-10 versus the SEC and the Big 12. Forget about that.
The all-state standings there. USC was a near unanimous #1 in both polls coming into this game. Sanchez has time, fires over the middle, over the head of Williams. Pretty good coverage.
Coming into tonight's game, we asked the USC coaching staff what made Mark Sanchez so special, and they said his preparation. They have not had a quarterback prepare like Mark Sanchez since their tenure there. That's saying a lot, considering Carson Palmer and Matt Leinart have been there. We'll see right now if that preparation shows up here on a potential game-winning drive.
He was so sharp to begin this third quarter. Now, guys, he's just one of his last 6. Quick drop. Pass was behind Ronald Johnson. Good catch. Not a very good throw. He does get the first down. Quickly stop the clock to move the chains.
Got to get up there, get at the line of scrimmage, be ready to go. Now every team in the country practices a 2-minute offense. Get up there, got to move.
The key to starting a 2-minute offense is get a completion. They've got that going now. Let's get this thing moving.
And C.J. Gable in the ball game. High throw, intercepted. Greg Laybourne weaves his way toward the end zone, brought down at the 2. They're going crazy in Corvallis.
No amount of film preparation can prepare you for the rush that's in your face. The errant throw a result.
Trying to fit that ball into Damian Williams, but there were just too many defenders around him. The pressure forced a little bit of a high throw, and Greg Laybourne there to make the huge interception. And not only that, return it inside the 5-yard line.
He kept wanting to go down. 2 hands on the ball, but nobody at USC wanted to bring him down.
First and goal now, and a timeout for Oregon State. The play clock was running down. Sanchez not very accurate on that drive. We said that's the kind of a defining situation for a quarterback, and under pressure there, backed up at his own goal line, facing a lot of noise. That was not a good throw, and not a good series of throws for Sanchez, even before the pick, I didn't think.
We said all season that USC is great because their offensive line has really improved. But tonight, Jesse, Oregon State's defensive line has been in the backfield, and they've been tenacious.
I think it's a pair of two things. It's one, it's being tenacious, being aggressive, getting after the quarterback. Again, go back to familiarity from the defensive coordinator, Mark Banker, dialing up these defenses, blitzing with a purpose because they understand USC's tendencies.
John Robinson, the former USC coach, said at halftime, met him at the snack bar. He said, you know what, Mike Riley's a great game plan coach. He'll have him ready.
Saw Laybourne there, the safety, his second pick on the season. 1st and goal. They give it to Quiz. And the freshman scores. The veteran makes the pick. The rookie cashes it in, limping off. What a night for that guy. 186 yards rushing on 37 carries. We hope the injuries, nothing serious. A pair of touchdowns for Jacquez, 2 touchdowns for James Rogers. And the extra point, no good. Banked off the upright. So the lead is 13. 2:39 to play.
You just can't get low enough to get Rodgers down to the ground. And leverage is the key in football, no matter what position you talk about. Lead, get right below the pad level. Strong legs. He is small. He's short, but he's near 200 pounds.
He ran right through Ellison.
Jacquez Rogers is a warrior. 5'6", 193 pounds, 37 carries tonight against what we thought was the best defense in the country heading into tonight.
So 41 years after the giant killers at Oregon State shut out O.J. Simpson and the Trojans. And 2 years after USC was shocked here 33-31, they called that one Giant Killers 2. We got another sequel.
Well, let me tell you what, this is going to be the Ants invasion.
The students who are positioned right behind the Oregon State bench all along that far side have already jumped the wall. School hasn't started. They're about to have a celebration before they go to their first class.
They're taking an exam here in just a moment. DT tonight, and Corvallis will be hopping.
Johnson hesitates, tries to get a wall, and Ronald Johnson has a crease on the far side into Oregon State territory to the 45-yard line.
I don't want to say anything, but look at the top of the screen. There's 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this football game right now. Fans are jumping over the wall.
Distraction.
This thing's not over yet, guys.
Nope.
USC has just 1 timeout remaining. They would need a quick score, an onside kick. They did a miracle. The 50 yards in the return for Johnson sets them up at the Beavers 40. You're saying they should just sit in the top of the fence and
just
not
sit on the
yet?
top. Just wait till we're about 10 seconds away. Jump over. It's not that far away.
We'll see if Sanchez can collect himself. That was a very poor throw picked off by Laybourne in his last attempt. McKnight is in the game. Sanchez fires short, caught. Williams works his way for a first down inside the 30. And will stop the clock temporarily. Christic on the stop.
Oregon State content right now to just rush 3 or 4 players, play that read, recognition, defensive coverage, just watching Mark Sanchez's eyes.
Sanchez flushed out, fires far side, diving catch, and then hammered out of bounds on the far side. Once again, it's Williams. That's been the go-to guy.
And the clock's running.
I guess they said that his knee was down before he was hit out of bounds, so they don't stop the clock. Inside of 2 minutes, SC up the line quickly.
The problem with the bend don't break against USC is that you've got great individual skill players. When they're in open space, they make you miss.
Sanchez back. Hit as he throws far side. That time he will get out of bounds. A big hit delivered on McCoy. Sanchez hit after he threw it. Victor Butler pressuring. So now 14 yards from the end zone. 1:40 to play.
Nothing wrong with the middle of the field right here if you can score with it. Yeah, if you can score with it, get to the middle of the football field.
Sanchez to the end zone. Jump ball. Touchdown. Patrick Turner went up and got it. The 6'5" senior beating Tim Clark, the backup corner. Now it's a 7-point game. Will that missed conversion loom huge?
Oregon State decided to get away from the zone defense. They went bump and run man to man, and Tim Clark got matched up with a 6'5" tall Patrick Turner. Nice job of Mark Sanchez just putting it up, and Patrick Turner going up and catching it at its highest point. We got a football game.
It took a minute 20 to go 50 or to go the distance 40 yards after the 50-yard kickoff return, and now we'll see the onside kick.
And how important are special teams? You missed the extra point. You've got the backup kicker going with you, right? So that's a problem. Now it comes down to execution on the hands team. And you work on it all the time, but it's the focus. You got to get it out there and do your job.
It's funny, Oregon State had that field goal blocked also right now.
Yep.
You know, special teams kind of coming back to bite them. They can make up for it right now with a big recovery on this onside kick attempt.
Man, Mark Sanchez, though, that offense, what a great job. And it started with special teams, the kickoff return, getting it up to midfield. So Sanchez doing his job.
I'll tell you what, and if they're able to get this onside kick, they got one timeout still. And this offense has proven that they don't need a lot of time to score here tonight. All three of their touchdowns have come just either at 3 minutes or under.
Let's go to Aaron Andrews.
And guys, by the way, Mike Riley, the only one on this sideline that knew there was a lot of time left. He was doused with Gatorade about a minute ago, and he was screaming at his players to stop. I'm standing with the team right now because it's safer to be here than with all the students standing on the team's bench. There's a lot of time left.
That premature Gatorade
Reminiscent of Kentucky LSU a few years back with the Hail Mary that ended up beating Kentucky. Ooh. Good history.
David Beeler, the senior. Not a very good onside kick. Beavers recover. Taylor Kavanaugh, the junior wide receiver, collected it, didn't get the hop Beeler was looking for, and the Beavers are going to shake up the BCS race.
You know what? You're taught on the hands team. Don't be hesitant. Go for it. Straughter 19, great hands. Stays out of the way as a backup role. And then Mark Sanchez and this Trojans football team. And Pete Carroll said all the right things. They led up to this game. It's one game at a time. We're going to, what do you call it, radio waves he wanted to send out?
Send over the tape waves in the Pac-10.
Yeah, he tried to send a message in the Pac-10 opener. He was hoping that was going to be enough of a rallying cry to produce his team's best effort. That didn't happen, and all credit to Oregon State. This is a team that looked awful in their previous game against a heavyweight team, blown out at Penn State, not competitive at all. But you get them to Corvallis against an opponent that they don't fear because they're familiar with it. It's a different team. The pattern just keeps repeating itself.
It's fun, you know, this Oregon State team, you got to give them a ton of credit. Offensively, they got after USC. They ran the football inside. Jacquizz Rodgers is going to be a household name now throughout the Pac-10. You look at Quiz Rodgers right here, whether it's been inside or outside, the little shifty scat running back is found green, carried the football 37 times today, and he's been running to pay dirt. What a night for Quiz Rodgers.
But for it to happen against USC in the middle, between the tackles, that was totally unexpected. The Oregon State offensive line, they stepped up tonight with the young man Rodgers in the backfield, and they won the football game. Now, great job by the play calling and by Mark Banker and the defensive coordinator for Oregon State.
I see no more timeouts. Moivout takes a knee again. You think he deserves to be the Wrangler five-star player of the game? His fourth game in college. And he has run wild for a $186 and a pair of touchdowns against USC. His big brother, James Rodgers, is the reason why Jacquizz came to Oregon State in the first place. A couple more touchdowns, and you just never know. The near unanimous #1 against a 1-2 team that had been embarrassed. And for the second straight visit to Corvallis, USC will go home a loser.
Let me tell you who's jumping up in their kitchens right now. Oklahoma, Georgia, Florida, LSU, Missouri, Texas, Wisconsin.
This will energize the championship chase, and there will be a humongous party in Corvallis tonight. The Beavers spring a trap and shock the college football world. Disappointment for Mark Sanchez. The Lion-Woifau and Oregon State, their season is back on track. A moment that they will never forget. A repeat of this shocker here 2 years ago.
It's been the theme of college football. Every game can change the season. You got a great example of it here tonight.
Aaron Andrews, last week it was a sea of black and Boulder, and somewhere in the sea of orange, she's with Mike Riley.
Who just grabbed his wife, I'm assuming, I hope, gave her a huge hug. Coach in 2006 and just grabbed his daughter. Nice moment here. You upset the third-ranked team. How does it feel to beat the top-ranked team in the nation?
I'm really, really proud of our kids and our coaches. This is great. Happy for the fans. It's a great, great win against a great team.
You look a little misty, Coach.
Yeah, this is good. This is real good. I'm really proud of our team.
Jacquizz Rodgers, you told us how special it was. 186 yards with 2 touchdowns. How was he able to get through such a big defense like USC?
Well, you know, I think that the balance was important. We got some stuff going that helped a little bit. Quiz is a good runner. I think our line did a nice job of staying